now actually broadcasting. Let me drop this thing in a couple of places here so I can invite some people, or I guess I'll alert people that this is happening. Okay, there's one. And here's two. I'll post it in one more spot and then we should be good to go. I mean, we're technically good to go now, but we'll give
Right,
people
but you want to
some.
get some folks to pop in.
Yeah, we'll give it a couple of moments um, to percolate. Looks like we got 4 or 5 viewers already, so that's good.
One of
Hooray,
them's me.
people! All right, we're gonna switch over to this. And hello, folks. Thanks for coming in. We're gonna talk some Lancer today. So that's gonna be a heck of a thing. I'm gonna switch over to my book review thing. Hey, there it is. We have a new guest star, or in this case, a presenter that I'm going to kindly just listen to and ask questions and poke the bear, as it were. So everybody, this is Wade. Hello, Wade.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Uh, we had Dan on last week to talk about ours, and I thought, man, I kind of want to like go through and um, grab some people from like my local gaming because Dan, Wade, and I go back about as far as you could. Dan and I go back the furthest, but second to that is Wade. So it's kind of cool to be able to like pull you guys in and be like, man, we've been gaming for like 20 years. We should tell people about all the crazy shit that we play.
It was 2003. I was just starting community college and I saw a post advertising for a D&D game and I thought, I want to try that. I got scooped up and the rest is history.
You did get scooped up.
I got
And
scooped up.
like interestingly enough too, in general, I feel like we traded off running stuff kind of from the get-go, which was a little unusual. Because you were running BattleTech and MechWarrior, and then you ran D&D for Dan and I,
Yeah,
and
I
your
wanted to get
brother and
into
such.
it. I wanted to get into it really early because it really appealed to me and I've been doing it nearly continuously since then. So I guess it really kind of took.
That is true. Uh, God, it's been so long, but we do have some folks, so we'll say hello to Mia. That's the muffled moo. It looks like there's a Sylvain. I don't think.
That's my wife.
Oh, okay. I was like, don't remember that name. So fantastic. Um, and we got Miss is Dan, and maybe some other folks will be coming in. I know uh, Called is running his community day, which I would have tried to book around, but I didn't know about it. um, uh, but yeah, Mia is the one that I wasn't actually expecting to see because I assumed you'd be jet lagged to death. But hey, awesome. We're gonna talk about another RPG thing that we can try to talk everybody into wanting to be run. Because man, there's some cool games out there, and this is gonna be a unique experience. Um, oh, okay. So you're sort of half in, half out in the bed, but still awake. Um, but this will be a unique experience as I have the vaguest understanding of Lancer. I know it's a mech game. There's factions, I've been told. And the mechs are completely bonkers. That's the sum total knowledge I have of Lancer.
Okay, well, I will clarify and hopefully sell you on it today. And if you folks are interested, I wouldn't mind doing a one-shot on or off stream, whatever works for you.
Oh, that would be spectacular. I would 100%. Like, I have Foundry. I guarantee you there's a Lancer Foundry module someplace.
There is. I use it every week in
Do
my
you
normal
really?
game. Yes.
I didn't know that you were actually running Lancer.
Yes, I am actively running a Lancer game right
Oh,
now.
oh, dude, this is gonna be rad then, because you're like in it still.
Yep.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, if unless there's any other thing that you wanna to hype or whatever, we can kind of jump into it, and you can tell me how to be a Lancer mech pilot.
All right. Well, I suppose I will get started with the first slide then. So, Lancer is a game that's I've come to it recently in the last couple of years, but it is really kind of met a lot of things that I like to have. And so I have gotten super deep into it. Let's see here. The first thing about it, and the thing that everyone I know who's into it really kind of gravitates to, is that it really, really cultivates people who love build crafting. Uh,
Ah,
all of the mechs are modular, and you can take pieces from another mech's license and put it on a different frame and to make it do all sorts of wild stuff that either synergizes or expands whatever you'd like it to do, really. Um,
so this is
and
another
go
thing
ahead.
where you're trying to build out synergistic play, so you're building around like a base concept.
Right. Uh, you get, for example, the first mech that I played in a Lancer game is essentially just a D&D rogue. Its whole thing is that it wants to catch somebody isolated in melee and then just does a ton of bonus damage and is able to strike from unexpected places.
So melee. So now we're also talking that this is like more Gundam, less Mech Warrior. So
It
these,
takes all kinds.
okay, but I mean
It
like,
takes all kinds, and you'll see that when I get into the different manufacturers.
okay. You also said license. So hopefully that will be explained because I would love to understand why I have to like register my death weapon. Who is
I'll
the
ex-
death weapon registrar that I'm going to?
I'll explain that when I get to it, but
Okay.
suffice to say, licensing is sort of the leveling system and
Oh, okay. Okay.
an ownership system for your equipment as well.
Gotcha.
But behind all the crunch, Lancer is also it's a big, expansive sci-fi setting that
Okay.
likes to tell different levels of story, whether you just want to be space pirates or whether you want to um, work for a shadowy organization with super advanced galaxy simulating uh, ghosts in the machine and try to stop humanity from crashing and burning. All of that's available to you.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, this You do kind of have it all.
Yes. I'll go ahead and advance. Please let me know
Okay.
if it actually does.
It does. Hey, so
Excellent.
this is some next level shit. He brought a slideshow, folks. It's not just my hands this time.
I'm proud of it. It's nothing fancy, but I'm pretty happy with
But
it.
damn, it's bet. Honestly, this is the approach I probably should be taking going forward. Just so that it's a little less total chaos. But anyway, please continue.
Okay, so it's the title of the game. What is a Lancer? That's a really common term you'll run across in fantasy, in sci-fi, in actual real-world military. In game terms, a Lancer is a title given to elite mech pilots, kind of like how Ace is a title given to elite fighter pilots. Uh, you are able to make the settings armored cavalry chassis do things that nobody else can even really dream of. And so you are sent in to do the impossible when it still needs to get done anyway. You break a siege, you uh, capture a pirate vessel, you save refugees from those who are looking to exterminate them. Um,
So these are like super elite, best of the best.
Yes, but not necessarily tied to any particular organization. You
Okay.
can still be a Lancer, but you're on a pirate crew. You're just the best mech pilot in the pirate crew, and so they're willing to, put more resources behind you and help you get access to more advanced equipment because
I
you
gotcha.
are carrying the organization on your shoulders.
Okay.
They can come from any walk of life. You don't necessarily have to have a military background to have the talents in this. One of my players right now is a streamer, and he hosts. They're on a world that doesn't have like new advanced like OmniNet type capability, so he's hosting it entirely from his mech and streaming whenever they go on missions. It's actually helped him out quite a bit. Um,
Does he
one
have the
time they were
ability to ask chat for help?
I was just about to say, one time they were trying to get through a uh, a code locked heavy bulkhead door so that they could shut down some automated defenses and get into a facility. And he asked me, can I ask chat for any ideas on how to get through this? And rolled well enough that I ruled the person who did the install on this door is here watching, and they tell you, yeah, they had me put this in and then didn't have me change from the default code because they didn't want to pay me to do that. So it's this.
So fuck them for one, and two,
Exactly.
glorious, glorious. So is um and I assume this is kind of a nebulous question, but like, so we're talking about like a galactic level campaign setting, right? So there's like different planets, people are moving their mechs and like they're moving them via spaceships, I assume, to these different planets. Is there some like overarching law that's like, hey, you can launch mechs, sort of like the clans or the inner sphere system, where like you can do a war, but you have to follow these rules while doing a war? Or is it just like this is total chaos? If this thing shows up, it shows up, and it's everyone's problem.
There's layers.
Okay.
Um, so, and I'll get into it a little more when we get to the setting situation, but there's sort of the core worlds and union,
Okay.
and they have a certain amount of influence because they control blink gates that allow for faster than light travel. But there's still uncontacted or semi-contacted human diaspora Um,
Okay.
Civilizations, there are other uh, fully multi-planetary human civilizations out there that have different levels of relationship with Union. And of course, you get into the more remote parts of even what's considered Union space, and stuff breaks down, pirates everywhere, that sort of thing.
Dude, if I ever get a chance to play this game, I am 100% going to be a human from part of the dysphoria that is finding a mech like a part of a fucking cargo cult. He has no idea what it is. It talks to him and walks him through. As far as he's concerned, it's a god that came from the sky.
Fully doable.
That's amazing. You don't often get to use the term diaspora in tabletop games, but here we are.
Here we are. All right,
Fucking nerd
I'll move
shit. All right,
on.
sorry, continue.
I'll move on to the next one. Oh, hey, here we are. Okay, so the sort of main setting and the setting we have the most information published about is Union. Um, to summarize Union's history, or summarize human history briefly, uh, so so many thousands of years in the future, humanity is facing civilization and ecological collapse. Um, no relation to our world whatsoever. I mean, what? Uh,
All right.
but they've launched several colony missions, put them out into space, and do their best to keep those up until civilization falls apart. Humanity on Earth goes back to the Dark Ages,
Okay.
and they don't talk to anyone from the space for such a long time. They forget all about it until they get back to near modern state and find the massive vaults, which giant time capsules full of information and technology left behind. Um, there are, of course, dozens of world wars fought over the massive vaults, but once that all gets sorted, Union is founded, and they're very excited to turn on back on interstellar communications and talk to the rest of humanity. But when they open that up, mostly what they get is millennia old distress calls, uh, requests for aid, death rattles of colonies everywhere. And with that sobering uh, experience, Union vows to, quote, choke the stars with life.
Wow.
They want to do better, they want to be better, and they want to try to create a good society for as many as people as they absolutely can. And the mistakes along the way bit is an indication that doesn't always go well. Uh, the first union government started off well. They put together the utopian pillars, which are uh, sort of a bill of rights. Every human per union has the right to have all their material needs met.
Okay.
Every every person has the right to travel unbarred if they so wish. You can't stop somebody from leaving the world they're on or going to another one unless there's a severe security risk. Uh, and then no human shall ever be held in bondage either for any reason, including debt bondage. And those hold through the first government. The second union government really kind of gets more of an they get an imperial mindset, kind of disband the utopian pillars and approach recontacting and colonization with what they call an anthro-chauvinist philosophy,
What
where
on earth does that mean?
it means the way we do the way we do humanity on Earth is the right way, and so fuck your culture, fuck your desires. You're human, so we rule you. We're taking your planet, and you can live under our auspices, or not.
Oh, that's we were talking about ours last week, and very much in the same of order of Hermes of, oh, you do magic? Cool, that means we own you. And if you don't do magic the way we want you to do magic, you'll have to die.
Thankfully, that oppressiveness, after a while, led to the an internal revolution and the rise of Third Committee, which is the current settings government, which has readopted the utopian pillars and is genuinely trying to do a good job. They prefer maybe a slow diplomatic approach to recontacting and reintegrating people. And if they don't freely democratically decide to do it, the union will just leave them alone.
Interesting. Okay, so wait, this is actually on, which is very strange for an RPG game, to be perfectly honest. They're actually on the right path as the standard setting.
They're definitely trying to be. They
Wow.
will fully admit that they have not always been, and they will fully admit that they do not always get it right. But their
But
heart's in the right
they're
place.
trying, which is way different than. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I like that.
The the massive vaults are very interesting to me. So these are like dead relays of everyone like that sent their information, or are they like spaceships? What is specifically a vault in this context?
Think of um, think of like a Fallout bunker
Oh, so like a actual.
without people, but actual
Okay.
like stores of information and technology. Everything from full information to old media, um, religious information, anything they could think to put in there. Hey, please remember us in the future when you have the capacity. They put in the massive vaults.
Okay. So they're like huge bunker-sized time capsules.
Yes. A fun anecdote from a pre-written adventure that I'm aware of. There's a character in there, a mech gladiator who calls herself Wolf,
Okay.
but she fully believes that wolves were entirely a fictional creation left behind from uh, old humanity and were never real. It's all media, and she's just a cartoon character.
Interesting.
Yeah. So even if that information is there, maybe it doesn't filter through correctly.
Yeah. It's a matter of interpretation.
Yep.
Huh. Okay. I mean, and do they play this off um Tombs and such and Exalted, where like, oh, there's rumor of this massive vault that has this truly powerful mech. uh we should go out and look for it? Or is it more like these are kind of just like places of history and things, not necessarily this like treasure, like a dungeon almost, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
You could definitely play off a vault like that if you wanted. Like, it mentions that there were the massive vaults contained references to other vaults, and that's how they found more of them. But that doesn't say that all of them were there.
Okay.
And mech technology in the chronology comes a little later, but that doesn't mean old humanity didn't put together something similar before they fell apart either.
Or some kind of weapon or engine or trinket that a mech could possibly utilize.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. Love it. So far, so
All
good.
right.
I'm in.
The next thing I should mention are NHPs. NHP stands for non human person. And it broadly, while it's a broad term, it usually refers to a kind of incorporeal technology inhabiting intelligence. Um,
So, like an AI or like a actual ghost in the machine?
their function is similar to an AI, but that's not in universe a term they like to use for it. The game uses the AI tag to refer to NHP systems so that you don't have too many on your equipment. But it's not a term that is used in universe to refer to them. Uh,
But it's like
an
a
AI would be more like a comp con, which is something that doesn't have sentience, but is still effectively an artificial intelligence. NHPs are fully sentient, and they are just kind of seen as people by folks who interact with them, a different kind of person. And they are also widely used for running like big cities or naval fleets, things that a human being can't process fast enough or broadly enough to really coordinate. An NHP is used for.
okay. Huh.
And
Oh, it's Karma.
Ra,
Hi, Karma.
hello. Ra is the first recorded NHP in Union history, and Ra came about in a terrifying way. Uh, at the time, it was called Monist One, and sort of arose from a black site on Mars, took over the moon of Deimos, and just kind of disappeared it, along with everybody who was on it.
Disappeared the moon.
Yes,
So he came into being and then stole a moon and then just like fucked off someplace.
it still has the moon. It still shows up with the moon when it
I
needs to.
forgot. He doesn't fuck off someplace. He fucks off with the moon he stole.
Yes,
I see. Well, that's a hell of a thing. Uh,
Ra is incomprehensibly powerful and has made a treaty with Union called the First Contact Accords, where basically humanity agrees not to try to make itself individually immortal or to upload consciousness to technology, that sort of thing. And in exchange, Ra doesn't fuck them up.
Ra doesn't steal any more moons. The first one was a gimme, but after that,
There's a bit in history where a big, important, strong man who is one of the founders of one of the manufacturer groups we'll talk about later. His name is John Creighton Harrison the First. Decided, I'm not scared of Ra. I'm gonna upload my consciousness and become immortal so I can run my company and my corpo state for the rest of eternity, like the strongman and dictator I am. Ra shows up in his system, says, "Don't you dare do that." Uh, JCH orders his fleet to fully fire and destroy the moon, and Ra redirects all of that fire to JCH's throne room.
you know when a dude shows up in your solar system as a moon, there's not a lot of things that you could do to an entire moon to threaten it, I wouldn't think, unless we have like Death Star esque level weapons. I feel like that's just yep, yes sir. Sorry, I thought about it.
Harrison's a Harrison famously has a bit of an ego, as evidenced by the continued existence of John Creighton Harrison II, and I think we're currently on the third.
Are
They're
these
clones, but they're not continued subjectivity.
okay? So an attempt was made, but it's not close enough for the moon also to show up again and fuck him up.
They're their own people. They're genetically identical to John Creighton Harrison the first, and they occupy the same position, but they're not new people, and so Ra doesn't super care.
Interesting. Okay. So this is also a mechanical way of being like, hey, maybe we shouldn't let players become these godlike entities because that'd be a problem.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a stop there, and to
Okay.
keep people and civilizations from getting a little too out of hand. Cloning is an answer to player death, but something that's meant to be used sparingly and narratively for all of the angst it can bring.
Yeah. And like you want death to have some amount of ramification for your game. Otherwise, it kind of gets lost a little bit.
Right.
But I
And they
mean,
have fully narrativized death. Otherwise, it's largely considered that if your machine is destroyed, you can get out of it, unless you choose to let your pilot die narratively, in which case you can move on from there.
okay. Huh. I mean, the
I already
singularity
touched
is
on
always
the
a threat to gameplay in general.
yes. All right, I already touched on the many layers to play in. You can be as simple as a planetary security force or a pirate crew, or you can be as advanced as the most elite of the elite black ops type unit trying to do uh, things to save the galaxy every other day. Uh, and then I'll mention the other big civilizations that we know most about. Uh, the very first and successful colony sent out by Old Earth uh, actually succeeded, took root, and became its own thing. It was
Okay.
originally called the New Federation, but when it lost contact with Earth, it sort of devolved into competing noble houses with a very strict class divide called the Karakin Trade Baronies. Uh, it's also it's also Dune with the serial numbers filed off.
Is it actually like a full-on like sand planet, giant sandworms, etc.?
I believe Caracas is a desert planet, but I don't know that they have. I haven't read it deeply enough to know if there are giant sandworms.
But it's called
Uh,
Caracas.
it's called Caracas, yes,
So it's
and
not so much that they filed the serial numbers off; they just put a K in front of them.
pretty much. And you'll be pleased to know that they do have a priest faction that uses drugs to see the future.
Do they call it the Kadi?
I didn't think to look it up before coming here. Sorry about that.
The Kais must flow, Wade. Oh my god, I cannot believe they call it Caracas. I'm sorry.
We call it Caracas,
Yeah.
and mostly it's a fun way to uh, get a different kind of background where you're dealing either with actual nobles or you are an actual noble, and you're rather than the more egalitarian setting they have in Union. Um, and they are slowly politically merging with Union now that their uh, contact wars are over. Initially, Harrison Armory decided that their territory would belong to Harrison Armory instead, and so that got hot for a while.
Yeah,
But
makes sense. We do have a chat question for you, which you may
okay,
be getting to this later. If so, that's fine. But um, when you start with characters, do they begin with an organization, or is there rules for like running an agency, or is everyone sort of solo,
you're meant to make your characters together. Uh, there isn't hard and fast rules for
like a
making an
mercenary company or
organization.
something? Okay,
That's more abstracted.
okay,
So you can start where you want, and you have the resources you have based on that,
gotcha.
whatever the GM wants to give you.
Okay,
The other big civilization out there is the Onic Ascendancy. This is another. successful civilization that sort of went they went isolationist, and early Union didn't really like that. They got into a war and fired a bunch of tungsten columns at their planets.
Oh, rods from God.
Rods from God, but at relativistic speeds intended to arrive in a couple hundred years.
So they set up a doomsday event, but it's gonna take a while.
It's going to take a while, and Union's government has changed twice since those were fired. They're due to arrive but haven't shown up yet, and that's probably because of On's own monist entity. Their giant space god just sort of hangs in the atmosphere above their world when it so chooses and gives them magic.
Like capital M magic or like weird nanite shit that looks like magic.
If technology is sufficiently advanced,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. Okay. So many questions. Like one. Um. This is a man-made god or one that they like sort of just stumbled into.
It just sort of appeared in their sky. They talked to it, decided to worship it, and it keeps their civilization in good shape and grants them magic.
That's a hell of a deal. Honestly, I would take that deal.
And they have definitely taken that deal.
Um, is there any? I mean, I'm sure this is all like deep meta plot stuff, but is there any discussion about like, hey, this planet is about to be erased by a kinetic strike large enough that would have killed the dinosaurs like 6 times, and we fired it in like semi-auto. They just it's probably just like a thing that you can bring up if you want, or does it look like they actually have plans for this?
It's left vague, probably for storytellers who want to use that plot for them. Uh, the current canon we have is they're due to arrive but haven't yet, and speculation is that Metat Aun, which is the name of their giant space god,
Yeah.
has done something with them.
I mean, again, assuming that you fired this and it's hundreds of years, um, you could slow the planet or speed up the planet by, I mean, an hour's worth of travel in either direction, and they're gonna miss.
Potentially.
So it would be very easy if you had that level of power. Uh,
It would be very easy. Or if a storyteller wanted to say threaten Earth, they could have said that Metat turned them around,
right. I
or
mean,
put them
or
in stasis to drop later if it wants.
well, once the Karakian spacing guild gets involved, all all fucking bets are off. Wow, I stuff like that is one of the things I really like about settings that like really give the storytellers that are going to be running their games like little snippets like that. Um, these snippets, like between the vaults and the kinetic I mean kinetic apocalypse, really. It reminds me a lot of the nukes in Shadowrun that like they fired the nukes and they never hit, but also no one knows what happened to them.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
So like they're somewhere, man. Everything's like somewhere. Yeah, and in Shadowrun it happens like I think at least 2 times, maybe 3 times, that there's been a nuclear weapon that has been fired and is just unaccounted for now.
Yeah, fertile ground for you to tell a story around.
Yeah.
Lancer has a thriving third-party publishing community.
Ooh.
that loves to do stuff with this. You find a lot of them on itch.io, and they tend to follow the tradition, and Lancer does this too, where all the player-facing material is free, and then you pay for the game master centric stuff.
That is one of the things that had attracted me to Lancers when I found out that you could basically get the player's handbook for free.
Yep,
Um,
I have it on my phone.
that that to me is an amazing concept. Um, Monte Cook Games has sort of taken a step in that direction. They've made their player guides, which aren't exactly everything that you need to play, but it's like 70% of it. So I am glad to at least see that people are trying to do that, because like I mean, and you and I we've sat down. So like for ours, for instance, I own 4 R's core books because running that game, you cannot just like pass the book around. It'll never stop. Everyone like needs the stuff to make their character work. And that's super annoying. And given now like we live in the era of PDFs, I don't know how companies feel about one person buying a PDF and then other people like sharing it. I assume they don't like that.
Sure, they'd rather you pay for something they want you to pay for.
Right. Um yeah. Yeah. The ours books have gotten about um but it's one of those things that like you know DMs, GMs, storytellers, whatever, it sucks when you have to sit down and be like, I have to buy this core book so many times or try to convince my friends to get it. And, sometimes they're pretty expensive. Like, we're doing Gunslinger Knights and like Old Gods of Appalachia, and those core books are like 60, $70. So, buying 5 of them kind of sucks. But
Indeed.
having it where you can just go download the player's guide or whatever for your players is so fucking cool. I love that.
Yeah, I like that a lot, and that's been the name of the company that makes Lancer is Massive Press, and that's been their philosophy. And a lot of the third-party publishers take that same route. Not all of them, but some of them.
Well, that is
And
fantastic.
they're so tied together that some of the folks who started as third-party have actually been hired by Massive and now make first-party content too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of their old stuff is now treated as like 1.5 party instead of third party.
I see. Well, I mean, that is cool though. Getting like the stuff that you've made into canon is awesome. So even if it's like only mostly in canon. All right. Sorry to just
All right.
to stop you again, but please continue.
No worries. We're here to talk about it,
Yeah.
and this is slightly scripted, but I mean, this is the juicy bits. I'll move on. So, Lancer is played in sort of 2 levels of gameplay.
Okay.
Outside of your mech, it's very narrative focused. You only will roll a die when the consequences are dramatically interesting. And it might be something like I want to escape from these guards who are trying to arrest me. You make one roll, and if you've got an appropriate skill trigger like take someone out or apply fists to faces, you get a bonus on it. Um, and if you succeed on that, you've escaped. Congratulations. If you have not succeeded, or if you've partially succeeded with complications, you might take some damage or stress, and if you have not succeeded, you're captured.
Okay. So it's more of
The
a wider. You're not gonna do like round by round. You're gonna resolve the entire conflict in like one go.
Yeah, 1 or 2 rolls, whatever the storyteller feels appropriate,
Okay.
which is contrasted heavily by the crunchy tactical focus of actual mech combat, which is played on a hex map with tokens and templates and a very strict action economy.
Okay. So you have, and this. this is your two sides. Then you have the heavy tactics of mech combat and the more loose narrative of everything that happens outside of the mech.
Yes.
Okay. And these, you said that these are skill tag or skill triggers, is what you said.
Skill triggers is what they call them. It's basically a point bonus to a d20 roll.
Okay. So we're also rolling d20s. Excellent.
We are rolling d20s. D20s and d6s and the occasional d3 is all you'll need.
Okay. Interesting. I have definitely started to lean more into games that have the larger narrative resolution. Um, the success with consequences is I think kind of an interesting one, unless it's like, oh God, what was that game? It's like the Star Wars one did it too, where you'd roll all the dice and every dice had like 2 to 3 symbols on its face. Um, God, Genesis is the system I'm trying to remember, and like there is successes, but you never get just like a success, failure, or mixed success. It's like here's a success with 2 opportunities and a detriment or something like that. And so every like you roll once, but it's going to take you 30 minutes to come up with how you can fulfill the requirements that the dice gave you. I would
And I feel like that's a little too much and takes away what you were trying to accomplish at all.
yeah.
Like it's cool to throw those in if the storyteller has them, but like what if he doesn't?
Yeah. And that was what stopped me from trying to get deeper into Genesis is like holy crap, dude, I can't come up with why you opening this lock gave you 2 opportunities and like made you think about your brother that was arrested last year. I just don't know why that's important, but the dice say it's important, so I guess here we are.
Yeah, this is simpler. So if you get a total of 9 or under, you've failed. 10 to 19 is a uh, success with complication, and 20 plus is full success. Very simple, doesn't get adjusted really. If the player has an appropriate skill trigger, they can add it. If their background would help them, you can add accuracy, which is a d6 added to the d20 total. Or if there's a complicating situation that would make it harder, you would add a difficulty, which is a d6 removed or an accuracy canceled. And that's really it.
Okay. I mean, that seems like full success is a 20, skills only give you a 1, or do they give you additional d6s?
Oh, skills come, they give you two, two, and two. You can take the skill trigger up to 3 times if you want. First time is +2, second time +4, third time +6. +6 is as high as it'll go.
Okay. Adding 6 to a d20 makes that much more palatable because I was like, dude, if you're looking for a 20 or higher and you're getting a +1, you're going to be failing shit left and right.
Yeah, you shouldn't be failing to your take someone out roll if you're a genius assassin.
Yeah. No, okay. But often you will have mixed successes, but you will still have successes.
Right. It'll be very hard for you to fail, but something might go sideways.
Okay. Which makes sense. Like that that is another one of those things, especially with D20 since they're so wildly swingy. Um, the first level blues of, oh, I've been living in this woods for my entire life and I'm a master tracker, but I'm also first level, so 80% of the time I still can't track anything.
Yeah, I have no idea what this mushroom does. It's lived on my front door essentially for the last 8 years, but I had no clue what it does.
Never seen it before. Oh my god. Yeah, that drives me crazy. So I am glad that they have taken that into consideration with something like this.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a negotiation for circumstances. You ask the storyteller for accuracy for the situation. If they agree, yeah, go ahead and take it.
Okay.
Um, You can get multiple stacks of accuracy and difficulty, but you only ever take the highest. So if you've got 3 levels of accuracy, you just roll 3 extra d6s and take the highest one. So it doesn't get too wild.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because adding up to 18 also seems ridiculous, but all right. So that makes sense. It's basically like super advantage.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And there's a rhythm of play to how Lancer goes out. It's meant to be broken up into missions. You start with narrative and preparation, briefing. Uh, there's an opportunity to get reserves if you want to roll for those or try to role play for those. Then they drop you boots on the ground at the most interesting point where conflict can happen. There's a couple of combat scenes during which you're just sort of relying on your own resources. So limited ammo, limited capacity to repair your mech, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then when it's all done, you're brought back, you're able to do a full repair, and you can do downtime.
Okay. So that's your like we've resolved this whole combat. Now we are resetting everything.
Yeah,
You're
a full repair is a full repair. You get everything back. You can uh, restore everything that you've lost. Uh, and when you complete a mission, you also gain a license level, whether you succeeded or failed.
I'm very interested to hear how this license level thing plays out. It sounds wild still.
I think that's coming up.
Okay.
So I'll move on.
Oh,
Okay,
I see it. It's in there.
it's there. It's a bullet point. We see it.
Beautiful.
Okay. Your pilot also gets. These are more tactical things. We're building a mech now.
Okay.
Your pilot has 4 mech skills, a number of talents, and their own grit, which is sort of like a proficiency bonus from D&D.
Okay.
The mech skills are hull, which is both your ability to make your mech resist strong physical forces or perform feats of strength in combat. And also, if you're good at hull, you know how to build your mech to be very tough. You get extra hit points and extra ability to repair in the field if you've got a lot of hull.
That's cool. Okay. I'm into it.
There's agility, which is for doing more finesse related things, avoiding the avoiding full damage from like a grenade going off or something like that. Um, High agility increases your mech's evasion and speed. So
Okay.
if even if you've got a slow chassis, you can make it go unexpectedly fast.
Okay. Interesting.
There's systems, which increases your ability to both inflict and defend against electronic warfare.
Ah, so we can do the old hacking the mech.
Yeah, if you see down there in the sort of bottom left corner, this is so endlessly amusing to me. A mech scale holographic touchscreen that it's interacting with.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
so,
It is absolutely ridiculous, and I love it.
oh my god. And that, oh god, again, so it's like, it reminds me so much of the new Shadowrun stuff where all of the deckers and stuff now have these floating AR displays that apparently like everyone can see.
Oh no, that's not great.
Yeah. So
As a decker, you don't want them to be able to see your UI.
if they have a deck as well, then they can see like all the art at least shows it. But yeah, that's Mist has another fun question as well. What is the scale of these mechs? Because this looks like these mechs, some of them are standing under a street light, so that puts them at like 8 or 9 feet tall, maybe 12.
Size is abstracted, but I'll go into it briefly once I've gone over the
Okay,
last
yeah.
mech skill.
Sorry, go over the mech skills.
The last mech skill is engineering. This increases your capacity to uh, absorb heat generated from actions, and also increases your ability to store limited charges of systems and weapons if they've got limits like that. It's also used for putting yourself out if your mech is on fire, or overcoming certain other tech abilities.
Okay.
Okay. So sizing. Mechs come in up to 4 sizes. Uh, what you're seeing here, everything here is size 1. So it is, there isn't a hard and fast because it's intended to be abstracted, but it can control 1 hex of space
Okay.
and 1 height level of height. Uh, they're probably about 12 to 15 feet tall, and the pilot sits in the chest, is
Okay.
my best assumption. Uh, you can go smaller. There are half-size chassis, which are just power armor.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's basically like elemental power armor.
Yeah, and you'll see at least, I think I have at least one example when we get into the specific mechs I wanted to show off later.
Okay.
And then they go up to size 2 and size 3, which are just bigger. You saw back on the previous slide a couple of size 2 mechs. So they take up
Oh.
3 hexes.
Oh
And then
boy. So size 3 is fucking huge.
size 3 is the big of that, the size of that. It says Blast 1 Range 3 on it.
Yeah.
That's how big size 3 is.
Wow. So okay. That's a big boy.
That's a big boy. And there is one published size 3, and I have it listed to talk about later.
Excellent. So I guess the other question, and again, that you may be getting to this later, is so size 1.5 makes sense, 1 pilot. Size 2 and 3, many pilots? Or
It's all intended to be 1 pilot.
okay.
You can put an extra compartment in any mech, even half-size mechs somehow.
That's
But they're intended to be 1 pilot and maybe an NHP co-pilot.
I love the idea that it's like a thing, but they basically are 2 people that have their arms around each other and each one's controlling one of the other arms.
If you wanted to do it that way.
That's some wild shit. And then you have to like put your legs together and each of you are hopping. That's madness. This is madness.
We'll talk about madness when we get to Horus.
All right. All right. So license levels. This is the thing
Yes.
I'm interested in. What the hell is a license level, and why do they call it license?
Okay. So, a lot of there's very advanced 3D printing technology in Lancerverse,
I see.
and you are licensed to print as many times as you should so desire equipment that you are licensed for. That's why
That's
they
a
call it license
super
levels.
interesting way of doing this because that's always been one of the weirder things about like MechWarrior and stuff is, you know, well, okay, we need like 20 engines for this one specific mech. Well, who the hell has the ability to mass produce that? And then when they do, how do they get it to us?
Exactly. So, like a big company might be licensed to produce, I don't know, as many cold core fusion reactors as they want in a year or something, and they can just print that from their Schedule 2 printer. Whereas a single pilot might be only licensed to print 1 cold core, but as many mech components as they want. So you can only have 1 active at a time, even if you've got multiple chassis built. You put it together like that.
Okay.
They don't necessarily have to be acquired legitimately either. It sounds all legit, but this can also represent like you've broken some DRM on a license, or it just sort of appeared in your inbox from a shadowy organization or something.
That was going to
Whatever
be
story you want to tell about it.
Yeah, that was going to be the next question of what is stopping me, because like that does make the hacker DRM cracker the god of this universe.
Indeed. And so they don't want you to like break that, but that's how you might describe how you level up that way, but they don't want you to be like pursue a project where you've broken a lot of these things. There is a system where you can quote unquote rent license levels uh, as a like a reserve or something. So it might be a case where you've temporarily broken the security around a licensing, and then they kind of catch you by the end of the mission and remove your access.
Interesting. Okay, but I mean, there has to be some amount of game enforcement of like, you know, you can't just do this because otherwise nothing matters anymore.
Right. The something like that would be more fit in Shadowrun, whereas this wants to keep this as a game mechanic.
Yeah. Okay.
And the only other thing I really have listed here are talents, which are really what make a Lancer a Lancer. It's your extra things that you can make your weapons or machines do that nobody really nobody else really can. You might be able to temporarily disappear just from you know from sight with your prowler talent, or you can make any one of your mech combat knives teleport with the hunter talent. Uh, they're very specific, but they're very important to a build, and they make things get wild if you go
Okay.
deep enough.
And these are kind of like feats, basically. They're some
Yeah.
strange thing that your dude through sheer like talent or skill. Are these talents also something that your characters like advance in? Like you can get new talents through gameplay and
Yep.
things and
Yes.
talents. Oh, go ahead.
They come in three ranks. You don't need to pursue all three ranks of a talent if you don't want to. Just you go through them first, second, and third. And if you're happy with just the first or the second, that's fine. You get one talent point whenever you level up, and you start with three talents at level one.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, and those are assigned specifically to the pilot. So if you move from mech to mech, which is this a thing where you can have like a garage of two or three different type of mechs?
Yes. You can only have one active because you're only licensed for one engine, but you can build multiple chassis and have them on standby. Your talents and your mech skills transfer between.
Okay, that is kind of cool too. It's like the Iron Man reactor heart that like you can have a bunch of suits laying around, but you have to put the engine in it. That's what makes it like come to life.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. I like that idea.
Yeah. It stops you from, because when I was first going through it, I kept thinking, what stops me from building multiple chassis and like putting an NHP pilot in the one I'm not in and just being two characters? That's what stops you.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, moving on. So we are to the first of the manufacturers.
Okay.
This is General Massive Systems. See their slogan at the bottom: from cradle to the stars, GMS, assured quality, universal licensing, and total coverage. And we're starting here because this is where everybody starts. Uh, a new Lancer is made at license level 0, and all GMS equipment is available at license level 0.
Okay.
This is the Everest chassis, the Sagarmatha and Chomolungma chassis, which are just different names for the same mountain.
Those are wild names.
They're local names for Everest.
Okay.
So they're all different names for the same mountain.
Dude, you fired off Chomolunga like you were born for it.
I have said it a lot. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but I have said it a lot.
You were so confident in it, though.
Thank you. I'm happy. So GMS is Union's state-owned giant manufacturer. They make everything from uh, coffee mugs to hat blocks to starships to mechs and weapons. Basically, their whole thing and the where they fit into Union is that they make something that is of very good quality, that is exceedingly easy to get a hold of, so that uh, other manufacturers are held to that standard of quality minimum.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
Giving me omni consumer product vibes. We make everything.
They do make everything, but they're not portrayed as sinister as OCP.
It's I mean, until one of those lancers goes sentient and blows someone away, then we're playing RoboCop Lancer Edition, I guess. Okay, so this is the benchmark.
This is the benchmark, yes. Now, the core book doesn't give us a visual for the Everest or the other two because, in their words, they want everybody's first mech to look how they want it to look.
Okay.
There is another argument where you want to put a picture in front of somebody so that they can visualize it better and get excited about what they're looking at.
Yeah.
So I've included what the community calls the uh, Everest G type here on the page.
Okay. I could see
And
both sides of that, but
yeah,
I've seen the other visuals that they have for this game. I don't think that they should hold back on the shit that they make because man, some of that other stuff is wild. And I feel like they've done such a good job that they should just they should just show something. But I also get because especially later in this game, everything is super customizable, right? So like
yes.
once you're done with baby's first death machine, then you move on to big boy's custom built death machine.
Well, the neat thing about the Everest is that not only is it a great place to start, and it's uh, designed to teach you the game with what it can do,
Mm-hmm.
it's also one of the best strikers in published material and can take you all the way to level cap if you want.
Oh, okay. So it like is legitimately good all the way.
Yes. Uh, it has a lot of. It basically has uh, a free overcharge that you don't have to spend for, which is something you can use to do more around the strict action economy, and so it teaches you to get comfortable doing that. Um, because its parts are so ubiquitous, it doesn't cost as many repair capacity to put it back together.
Makes
So it
sense.
gets you comfortable taking damage and, doing or being comfortable doing that later and preparing for it, and also being aware that this is a thing you will have to do.
Yeah, that is one of those things that has always been, and I know like when you've run Mech Warrior and BattleTech for me that like in general there was kind of very loose approaches to how like max tonnage and things, but like you wouldn't take a 20-ton mech all the way through your whole life, like your whole campaign. It just like there's a there
Now, without expecting to get it shot out from under you at some point.
right. So like you don't expect the first thing that you're ever given to be something that is anything less than like, this is a stepping stone, I'm going to use this until I get literally anything else. But this is like, no, this is solid even from day one. You're good.
From day one. At license level 0, you can use this thing to fire one of the best heavy weapons in the game 3 times in a turn if you want. It's
Seems
just
good.
one turn that you can do it. And then if you get a couple of talent levels under it, you can fire it up to 5 times in a turn.
Wow. All right.
So there's the Sagarmatha is the community asked for a defender version at this. The Everest can do defender if you put the right systems on it, but the Sagarmatha is a size 2 and it's got more of like a defense banner type thing that gives everybody a free brace where they can resist damage. And then the Chomolungma is a similar thing, but they wanted it specialized for electronic warfare. So it gets a lot of free scanning actions that it can do, but they're basically just slightly more specialized Everests. Everest can do whatever you want it to do, whatever you build it to do.
Okay. I definitely am more getting the vibe of like you really can deeply customize these things. Because again, like I'm used to the couple of little tweaks that you can do in MechWarrior where you're like, I can replace the guns. I might be able to make it move a little bit faster if I strip off some of the armor, but the customization isn't super deep. I guess unless you like get to the point that you can literally build them from the ground up, but this is like fully modular, almost like rearranging cards type thing.
Pretty much.
Okay. I can see why people get like super excited to do builds in this game now.
Yeah, that's the big draw. And GMS is meant to be open. You can find a good piece of GMS equipment to put on basically everything. But from here, things will get more specialized.
Okay.
GMS is intended to be broadly applicable, but not super specialized at what it does. So I will go to the first manufacturer that I listed, and I'll get these will start simple and get weirder as we go.
Dude, there's a planet that has a magic god. I can't imagine that this is gonna stay normal.
Not at all.
I
And
was not
Lancer
prepared for
does
there to be
give you
magic.
permission. Yeah, they call it paracausal technology,
Oh, I
and
see.
you know, because you don't want to call it magic, but it's magic.
All right.
Yeah. So this is IPS North Star, your friend in an unfriendly sea. IPS stands for Interplanetary Shipping. So this is UPS.
I have noticed that they have taken very common things and tweaked it just a little bit. Because what was the thing before? It was basically General Motors, but slightly different.
Yep, General Massive Systems.
General Massive Systems instead of General Motor Systems. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So IPS instead of UPS. Love it.
IPSN
Correct.
is the merger of the. You all right?
Dan hit me with the Caracas again, and it fucked me up. All right. Yeah, dude. I want a fucking Caracas poster now. I can't wait. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
I'll send you some of the art from the Carrick and Trade Pyrenees book later. I'm sure
I'm
you'll like it.
so excited for that.
IPS North Star is a merger of 2 powerful shipping corporations. All of their equipment naming has a nautical theme because they spend most of their time doing spaceship trading, trading via spaceships rather.
Okay.
And they present themselves as very worker positive. We back our workers, we take their ideas, we incorporate them into new products, and those products are designed to keep them safe on long transits, that sort of thing. And this part of this is true. A lot of their equipment is adapted from work tools and work vehicles that poor sods out on some asteroid mine or on a long distance transit had to use to fight off pirates.
So,
And so a lot of their stuff is built to be real short range and tough and useful in close quarters and for ship to ship or shipboard action. They have a really gritty factory floor kind of aesthetic, and a lot of their equipment is deceptively simple.
okay. I mean, I love the idea of the like this isn't a shiny thing. This is an old tugboat that cannot die.
Basically. And we'll get to the old tugboat that cannot die now.
All right, sweet.
This is the Drake. The Drake is a giant, slow hunk of metal that is so big and heavy that smaller characters cannot move it. It is so bulky that it can be used as hardcover by other characters if you want to.
That's fun.
And its kind of big ultimate power is that it becomes a fixed emplacement. It extends walls from itself and becomes unable to move and just hails fire in directions.
So if you want to play a turret that sometimes walks, Drake is the game for you.
Yes. Highlights from its license include that shield, uh, where you can use it to take some of the damage for another character. It has two different kinds of spin-up assault cannons, a main-sized one and a super heavy-sized one.
Okay.
These are cool because you can use them normally at a small action cost, or if you spin them up, uh, it slows you down, but you get extra effect.
Okay. And speed is not what you're built for anyway, so
Speed is not what you're built for anyway, although only being able to move 2 to 3 hexes sucks.
yeah, I mean, and you better be able to fire a long distance because everyone else is going to leave you in the dust, I assume.
Unless they're hiding behind the deployable bunkers you can put out or become.
Energy shield too, so we have like full on force fields. Is that a
Yes,
normal thing or is this a Drake thing?
the Drake doesn't specialize in it. There is a deployable energy shield in its kit, but you'll find more advanced energy shielding in other manufacturers, notably Harrison Armory. I didn't include it here, but they have a mech called the Saladin, which is just all shields all day.
Saladin. Oh, like the Paladin, but just slightly different.
Saladin, like the Crusades era uh, Muslim general.
Oh, okay. Saladin.
Yes, Saladin.
Okay. Very good.
All Harrison designs are named after emperors, warlords, generals, that sort of
Oh,
thing.
that's
Just like
fun.
how IPSN is all named after famous captains or nautical places, or even Shakespeare uh, nautical stuff. You'll see when we get to the Caliban.
Okay.
Yeah, and everything that's in this Drake's license can be used on other things. Say you don't want to use the Drake frame, but you want to have its shield or its assault cannons, you can put that on another frame and do some of those things with it.
That's cool.
And now
Um,
you start to see the build diversity we're looking at here.
so so say that I wanted to get like the shield and the gun, but I'm gonna use a frame for something else. How does that work gameplay wise? Like, did I have to get a license for the Drake and a license for this other mech, and now that I have those two licenses, I can mix and match?
Yes.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
you can go through each license level by level each license has 3 levels. You get the frame at license level 2 in each license. So if you just want like some small pieces of equipment from the first level, you just take a dip and then you can move on. The shield and the small assault cannon with the Drake comes at license 1, so you can put that on something else real easy.
Okay, so then each of the mechs has their pieces in the level, and then your character is basically getting so many levels that they can play with.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's pretty intriguing. I mean, and I don't necessarily want to get into like the super nitty gritty of this because I assume this is the the ocean that is the depth of this system is its intermixing of those. But like, is is it in such a way that I've got a book of 200 mechs and I'm gonna choose this one, this one, this one, or is it like, okay, you guys can get this manufacturer and this manufacturer, but not the rest of these yet?
By base, you're meant to be able to take licenses in whatever you want.
Wow.
If you, as a group, want to limit yourselves, that's fine. But you are a Lancer. You will have extra resources poured into you. You have extra access because you're that special.
Okay.
So even if you directly work on like a IPSN anti-piracy strike group, you can fully license Harrison Armory stuff and they don't bat an eye.
Cool. Okay. That's wild, man. All right. Yeah, I am seeing what you are going through into now.
Okay, moving on to some other highlights. Behold the Lancaster.
What in the hell am I looking at? It looks like one of those Boston Dynamic dogs.
You're looking at one of the best supports in the game, and it is full IPSN gritty aesthetic here with the roll cages
Yeah.
and Brother Man on break sitting on top.
It also has like backpack containers on the side of it, I assume for doing repairs, and it looks like a water heater or some oil that's above that.
Yeah, and hanging from below too.
Oh yeah, I missed that. Oh man. Well, one of those has got to be the keg. Cannot
Probably.
go this deep into enemy territory not blitzed. So nanite fire extinguisher. All right, run me through this. This is wild.
So the Lancaster is a fast, tough utility support. It can do combat repair. So like um, if your friend's chassis gets completely gone, you can spend your own repair capacity to resurrect them.
That's fucking rad. Wow. Okay.
It has almost no capacity for weapons and doesn't. It comes with a single weapon that is a plasma cutter in its license, but has lots of cool little gizmos, including tow cables. You ever just want to hook yourself to somebody and drag them around? Ally, enemy, doesn't matter. Tow cables.
So, can you like Battle of Hoth trip one of the larger mechs with tow cables? Because
You could.
that's the first thing I would want to do with that. It's gonna look hilarious since you're like again a Boston Dynamics like knockover robot dog thing. Those spring legs are they're something else, man.
I deliberately included this one or partly because of how it looks, just to show you that mechs aren't just
Two
two
legs, two
legs, two
arms.
arms, and
Yeah.
such.
Wow. So okay, what is the mule harness battle bus?
So the Lancaster is size 2, and with the mule harness, your friends up to 1/2 size point smaller than you can mount you like an APC, be carried around by you, and fire from your back.
Wow. How many can you fit in there?
Up to your size minus 1/2 point. And there is a way to get bigger. So you can have your 3 size Lancaster, heavily modified, carrying around a size 2 friend or 2 size 1 friends and a size half friend, and you're quite fast, often faster than them. So just drag them around the battlefield while they do their shit.
So that is it actually is really useful for you to basically full run, then fire them out the back so that they can be right in the middle of shit when it goes down.
Yep. And the mule harness, again, is part of the license, so that can be transplanted to other mechs. I didn't point it out too well, but like the top couple is frame highlights, and then the bottom couple are license highlights.
Okay, cool.
The fire extinguisher, made of nanites, puts out fires, pretty self-explanatory. The plasma cutter is deceptively cool. It's classed in the same class as like knives are, so you can use the extra mobility from the hunter talent with it.
You can knife fight like, with your plasma cutter.
Yeah, including like throwing it or jumping, doing a lunge before you hit to get some extra movement out of it.
Amazing.
It's pretty wild. But yeah, we'll move on. This is Raleigh. Raleigh is the big iron.
I mean, Raleigh looks like the big iron. It definitely has like almost a Warframe. What the hell is Tensin? Is a
Mesa? Teshin?
Yeah, Teshin is a something. It's like one of the Orican soldiers.
A Dax.
A Dax. They have like Dax helmets.
Yeah, Raleigh has a really interesting, unique silhouette, and I like it. There's only one other mech that has a flat head like that, but it's not nearly so like wide brimmed. So the Raleigh is cool because it deliberately creates design space for you to do something besides what it does. It's meant to carry a lot of loading weapons, so weapons you fire and then you have to take a turn to reload.
Okay.
But the cool thing that it does is if you take a full turn and you don't attack during that turn or force an enemy to make any saves or anything, it'll reload all of your loading weapons for free at the end of that turn.
Is that called the Roland Chamber?
Roland Chamber it does have an effect on loading, but it's not the name of it.
Okay. The character
Roland Chamber is something else.
The character in Dark Tower is named Roland. And his
That's probably why this is called Roland.
His special ability is that he can fire his gun while reloading it.
Wild.
Yeah. He calls it the reload trick. Now, if you ever see the Dark Tower movie, they show it once where he's like, because he has his revolver is the kind that has the side chamber on the cylinder where you basically can like thumb it open, and as it fires, it rotates. So he can basically pull the spent shell and reload another one as he's firing and the chamber is rotating. So you see he has like a handful of rounds and he's firing, and you see the rounds that are being spent getting pushed out and him pushing new ones in so he can fire it like 60 times.
Dang, Stephen King.
Yeah, dude. And something that you would not expect in a Stephen King thing of like, why the hell can Roland fire his revolver 45 times in a second? Well, it's this weird reload trick. All right, sorry. I saw something called the Gunslinger, level, but, so
it's meant to gunsling. It's pretty much built for the gunslinger talent, which is for small-sized weapons, small-sized range weapons specifically. It does a lot of cool stuff with that, but it creates space where you've got an off turn to do something else. You might do support type things with tech actions. You might do defender type things where you've got, say, the Drake's shield and you're helping out somebody nearby to take damage for them, or something like that. Just as long as you don't attack during that turn or force an enemy to make saves, all your weapons reload. All your loading weapons reload at the end of the turn.
That's crazy.
And when you reload a weapon, you can fire your Mjolnir cannon in the chest for free.
Okay, so this is the Thunder God aspect of. I
Yep.
love. Is the Mjolnir cannon like the Lancer PPC, or is this like a
Oh no,
totally
it
special
shoots
weird thing?
it shoots a it shoots a kinetic slug,
Oh, okay.
but it's just called Mjolnir. Um, so it's a free attack. Say I end my turn, but my turn's not actually over because several other things happen. Um, and if you burn your ultimate on it, it will start loading rounds to a turn, and if you are holding up to 6, and at any point you can fire the full complement up to 6, and just it's enough damage to structure or one shot smaller enemies if you
Wow.
hit. It's wild.
I love the. I end my turn and then shenanigans. I end my turn, which activates my trap cards.
Pretty much. Uh, Highlights from the license, the hand cannon, which you see there, and the pistol in its hand there. It is an upscaled pistol that just it has loading on it, but it does as much damage as a bigger weapon. So trade off. Uh, on the Raleigh, it's especially good because it can reload several of them. I've seen builds with 7 of those pistols on a Raleigh.
What is the advantage? Can it have 7 arms, or are they just firing and like reholster and redrawing a fresh one?
I've imagined like multiple consecutive barrels, but there are meme images of Raleigh with 7 arms.
Because if it reloads all of them, then like wild, right?
Yes.
Also, the idea of the Raleigh sitting like waist deep in brass because of how many times it's fired is also kind of glorious.
Yes. The Roland chamber, which you asked about before, is a system, like a supplementary system. When you reload any weapon, the Roland chamber gives that weapon some bonus damage, or gives a weapon bonus damage. It doesn't have to be the same weapon. So,
That's
end of your
weird.
turn,
Okay.
uh, it packs extra like propellant into it, gives it some bonus explosive damage. So you reload at the end of your turn, and then the next loading weapon you fire does an extra d6 explosive damage and pierces armor.
Wow. Okay, that's rad.
And then buried at the very end, but shockingly useful, is Uncle. Um, Uncle is an AI system, but not a full NHP. It's a CompCon.
Okay.
Um, and Uncle's whole thing is that you can attach one of your weapons to Uncle, and Uncle will attack with it once a turn with some pretty serious inaccuracy. So you'll often want to put a weapon that will still do some damage on a miss or something with Uncle, but it's a free attack.
Oh, okay. So it's a free attack by something that's not super good at attacking, but as long as you put like a grenade launcher on the thing that it's firing, close is still good enough.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And that's
Uh,
part of a kit, so you could get a license to put Uncle on a different system entirely.
yes.
Now, I guess, and this is perhaps again maybe too far into the weeds, but does that require it to be mounted into the system? Does it require it to have a free hand? Like, can it fire
So
the thing that I just fired again?
Uncle only takes up system points, which is the limit you have on how many system things you can put in. It takes up quite a few system points, but not an egregious amount, I would say. Weapons take up their own space. They have weapon mounts. But then something like the Roland Chamber or the Mule Harness or Uncle takes system points.
Okay.
And your system points are expanded by having higher systems skill and as you level up with your grit too.
All right. I mean, yeah, that's. I definitely love how like radically different these mechs are. Just between the last two is like night and day.
And the last one is even further. Behold Caliban. I mentioned that there were that I had a half-size chassis in here, and this is it. You can see dude inside.
Yeah.
Caliban
Breaks.
it sort of breaks IPSN's theme of being like we value our workers and we are about their safety and the safety of our cargo and stuff. Caliban exists to solve a problem with naval engagements, which is that ships are expensive and naval commanders are often unwilling to commit them right away, which, like say, makes a naval engagement draw out way too long, causes more damage, more casualties, as smaller ships have to grind to make up the difference of you not fully committing your capital ship right away or something.
Yeah.
So the Caliban is meant to do boarding actions. The Caliban is meant to go in and just kill Marines as fast as possible, take out a bridge, and now you don't have to worry about that ship.
40% shotgun by volume is fucking hysterical. I just noticed that.
It has an integrated shotgun, and that's the one that it's holding there. It is a big shotgun that does a lot of damage, but a lot of knockback is the big thing. Caliban's unique trait is that all of its mobility comes from knocking other characters around. If it does a certain amount of knockback to a character, it can then move in the same direction, the same amount of spaces.
That's weird. Aggressive knockback mobility. Okay, makes sense.
It'll often like kick enemies around to get across the map, stuff like that. And it's, even though it's small, it is treated as size 3 for purposes of doing rams and knockback and that sort of thing.
Good lord. So that means it can kick a full size, like tier or size 3 mech as an equal.
Yes.
That seems nuts for something that small.
It does.
Do they explain why, like, it's got super kicking power, or, you know, like, gravity mass driver kicking legs? These are shit kickers of the future. like, why the hell can it do this?
It's not outwardly explained. It's not objectively explained. My guess is that it's just the wild musculature that's on it, and probably some magic.
Oh, is this from the magic place?
No, this is still IPSN.
Oh, okay.
But everyone can do paracausal research, just not everybody goes too deep into it or too
I see. Okay.
overtly into it. This thing breaks physics though, so
there's definitely
there
something.
might be some stuff going on.
Double barrel shotguns are still cool in the far future. I mean, they're always going to get the job done. It's just how big of a shotgun do you need to compete?
At the pinnacle of the Caliban's license is yet another shotgun called the Cannibal, because it kills people very, very quickly.
I see.
It can be fired twice before reloading, and when you reload it, you can have the ejecting shells deal a ton of damage to an adjacent character if you want
to. You can aggressively and dangerously reload your shotgun.
Yes. And it has different profile for whether you fire a single barrel or both barrels.
Oh, I was
It's
hoping.
pretty nasty.
Wow.
Also goes well on the Raleigh because it's a loading weapon.
Ah, true, true. How far down the license do you need to get that bad boy, though?
It's at the third rank,
Yeah, so all the way, right?
all the way.
Yeah. But man,
So you got to invest, but it's pretty cool when you get there.
God, just thinking about like taking are there critical hits and such in this, I assume?
Yes,
Just like
yes, there are.
thinking about a dude reloading and like knocking my system sensor display offline because I got hit with a spent casing. Man, that's some wild shit there. All right.
Other highlights include the supermassive mod, which is something you can put on most weapons to just make it do, or it makes it less accurate, but it does knockback. So even if you want to put a weapon that doesn't really work with Caliban's kit on it, you can make it supermassive, and now it does knockback too.
Which makes sense because I mean if all of your other powers revolve around you doing knockback, if you could kit a weapon that doesn't do knockback, your whole thing doesn't work.
Yes. And this doesn't have a lot of weapon mounts because of the integrated shotgun. So you can put something cool on it, and then you want to make it actually work with what you're doing.
I see that the shotgun has like sort of its own arm slash gyro mount.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically just aiming it, but the mech itself is holding all the weight.
Mech itself is holding all the weight and compensating for all the kickback.
Yeah. But also it has a knife. So that's wild.
A lot of these things have knives strapped to them.
So do the knives, are they made of some insane material or something that allows you to, stab somebody who's behind X amount of tons of armor?
Mech scale knives do mech scale damage, yes,
Okay.
including that one.
Which it's like the smallest mech scale knife possible.
You can get there are weapons for your pilots too that can do damage to mechs as well. So it's out of the not out of the realm of possibility. I forget exactly what they call them, but a certain class of weapon that can do damage to mech armor.
Okay. Huh.
And then Caliban also has a bunch of defensive systems that give it resistance to damage or an overshield as it's moving, just to, again, encourage the Doomslayer style play style.
Which is rad. I mean, this does have, Doom written all over it.
It sure does. All right. Are we able to take a short break?
Yeah. Yeah. We can go to an intermission screen, so we'll be back in like 5, 10 minutes. Sound good, guys?
I probably only need 5.
Okay. Well, let's do a quick intermission for 5. We will be back. All right, folks. The ad should be over now. Hopefully, that will get them out of our way for a while now. We have Wade back. I am looking forward to more ridiculous mech builds here. I absolutely love that these all have like a distinctive style that they go for. Um, I'll be very interested once we like get to the question parts to see. I assume you being you, you've made like 50 of these so far, so you can kind of like it is possible to make mechs from like scratch, or do you still have to always take like a chassis and then run with it?
You take a frame and then you build it with systems and weapons. So
Okay.
you always have to start with a frame, and that frame has traits, but then you can put whatever the hell you want on it to make it work.
Okay. Cool. So you just gotta
As
find your
limited
favorite
by
frame.
your yeah, as limited by your system points, and some mechs have different sizes of weapon mounts. There's three classes of weapon size: auxiliary, main, and heavy. And not everything has a heavy mount. Not everything has space for aux mounts. Or if you want to mount a super heavy weapon, it takes both a heavy mount and another mount.
Makes sense.
Um, Caliban is notably the only half-size frame that comes natively with a heavy mount, but that's its only mount, so it can't natively have a super heavy unless you customize one in later.
Okay. And that comes down to having like more pilot skills so that you can increase its hull or whatever to get it more space to
In that case, it'd be more license levels. Like
license levels. Okay.
every third license level you get qualifies you for what they call a core bonus, which is just you're so used to working with this particular manufacturer's machines that you get an extra thing you can shove onto any machine. Um, if you've got three license levels in a particular manufacturer, you can take one of that manufacturer's core bonuses, or if they're if you haven't specialized that much, you can always take a GMS core bonus as well. And the extra mount is a GMS core bonus.
Okay.
The increasing your size one is an IPSN core bonus. So you'll need to get 3 levels in IPSN if you want to do that to somebody.
Oh, okay. So there are like reasons to go down each path if you're looking for
Yes.
something specific. Okay.
Yeah, like if you like a lot of a particular manufacturer's core bonuses, then you're incentivized to stick with it so you can get more and more of those.
Cool.
Speaking of manufacturers, I'll move on to the next one. I've already mentioned them a few times. Here's Harrison Armory. They are an arms corporation that arose out of the imperialism of Union's Second Committee. They have started many wars of conquest, and they still carry that anthro-chauvinist philosophy along with them. They don't really have any non-human shaped mechs as a side effect of that, but they focus on very high quality, very high tech. All of their stuff is designed for war and nothing else. Um, and they make incredible reactors. You often want to run their reactors near red line for the best results for some of these things.
Oh, good. Do they
And
have like reactor meltdowns and stuff if you push them too hard?
yes,
Oh, good.
I mentioned overcharging before. Overcharging is you can take increasingly more heat to get an extra quick action that doesn't have to stick with the duplicate actions restriction on the action economy. And it's the first time you do it, 1 heat, no big deal. Second time, D3, not so bad. Third time, a D6, okay, you're getting a little scary. And then every time after that's a D6 plus 4.
I see. So they need to make sure now.
Yeah, you might just melt your reactor out of your ears. Also, taking invades from electronic warfare and hacking gives you heat also. So enemies can put heat on you too if they fuck with your systems enough.
Oh, that's interesting.
One of my players in my current campaign uh, plays just pure electronic warfare and does a heat gun kind of play style where it's just I'm going to hit you with 3 or 4 different EW things in a turn, and uh, now you've lost a point of stress from your reactor, and all of your heat vents are open, so you're taking double damage. Have fun.
And also, if you try to do anything, you're also going to generate at least some amount of heat, the assumption is.
Actually, heat works a little differently in Lancer as opposed to Mech Warrior. Whereas anything you do in Mech Warrior and BattleTech generates heat, Lancer is anything you're doing that's off spec will generate heat.
Okay.
Or if you're taking outside influence from like electronic warfare and stuff, or there are weapons and systems that give you heat to activate
But it's
as a
not like
consequence.
firing any weapon generates X amount of heat. It's like pushing a weapon beyond its normal factors. That's what generates heat.
Yeah, or if you've just got a system or a weapon that naturally runs hot like that, it'll give you some. And then heat doesn't dissipate naturally. You have to take an action to stabilize it for it.
Oh, okay. So you don't have the X amount of heat dispersed every round either.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm
Uh,
gonna throw
or if
this.
you
Oh,
go ahead, sorry.
I'm gonna throw what I think is the correct link into the chat. Tell me if that's um, it's massivepress.itch.io. Uh,
Should be, yeah.
that's one of the things I did want to do with it, as we said earlier, and I should have done this then when I was thinking about it. The core book for this is free, and that is their official website, or at least their official presence on itch.io for getting the core book. So if you want to get your hands on this after we've talked about it, that is the way to get it. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case people want to be like paging through this while we're talking about it. But sorry, continue.
No worries. Um, yeah, we'll move on. Harrison Armory frames are also notably good at implying an attack rotation and doing squad tactics and teamwork, which we'll see when we get to the individual mechs. Behold the Sherman.
Man, the
The
head on that
Sherman,
thing.
as you saw in the previous slide, that's a giant laser with a giant heat vent is what that head is.
Okay. Oh, that was the thing that was firing off the heat ray. All right.
Yep, that's the same guy. Oh, the
It looks
Sherman,
very different when it's open.
yes. The Sherman is notably the second most common frame in Union space because Harrison just makes so many of them. It almost has caught up to the GMS Everest. Um, but it is deliberately focused on being high quality, as Harrison likes to be. They like to be superior. That's their slogan: "Superior by design." The
Kind of
Sherman has
classy.
an yeah. The Sherman has an advanced reactor. It can do a lot of really non-standard things, including if you clear all your heat, you can choose to then receive heat up to half your heat cap to put you back in the danger zone, which is where a lot of cool stuff happens. A lot of systems and weapons do extra stuff if you are in the danger zone, and there's a whole talent that does extra stuff with that, including extra heat on a weapon attack or a hacking attack, extra damage from a weapon, and the pinnacle of the nuclear cavalier talent, as it's called, lets you pop open your reactor shielding and fire superheated fuel rods as a weapon to
Don't
clear some of your heat.
don't you like need those?
It's limited. You can't keep doing it.
You do need fuel rods for your nuclear reactor to work. But I guess you
Right.
can
So you
spare a couple.
can spare a couple. When the Sherman vents heat, it creates a big cloud that gives it soft cover, uh, and every time it stabilizes, it adds another charge to its main laser cannon, which you saw on the other slide there. This creates an attack pattern that the Lancer community calls an overcharge loop,
Okay.
where what you want to do with the Sherman is uh, stabilize and then get to half heat cap, get yourself in the danger zone, and then overcharge immediately and fire a big weapon with a lot of those danger zone bonuses on it, and then just do the same thing every turn.
Oh wow. I mean, seems very dangerous to, especially if there's other people that can just like give you extra heat to stay
And that's
capped
the
out.
risk.
Yeah.
That's the risk. It's a risky play style. There are some Harrison core bonuses that like cap out how much heat you get from an overcharge or give you extra heat cap, which help. But it is an inherently dangerous play style with a high risk, high reward kind of deal. Every time you stabilize, I said it gives that main laser cannon a charge too, and if you get it to, I think the full charges it can have is 4. It shoots out like a 12 hex line that does 4d6 damage and
Wow.
a ton of burn. It's wild.
Just on the scale of like how far 12 hexes must be, that is pretty terrifying. That's like big O lasers there.
Loved that show.
Yeah. Ah, so good.
Highlights from the license. This has a wide array of laser weaponry that, for the cost of doing some heat to you, does a bunch of energy damage to its target and also sets it on fire.
That was going to be a question of how often are mechs actually on fire, since that thing had a special fire extinguisher.
Vern is uncommon but not rare.
Okay.
There are a number of ways to get burn, and Sherman is a way to get burn damage at license level 1.
Oh,
I think go ahead.
how many license levels are there? Is this like a 1 to 20 thing, a 1 to 10 thing?
Games are intended to not go higher than 12.
Okay.
That said, one of my players did find somebody advertising a license level 15 one shot and had to share it with the group just to boggle at it.
I mean, somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
They made the epic handbook for those types of people. How to play a level 30 cleric? We can do it. It's a very different story.
You're going to spend a lot of time building it, and it's a very different story,
Yeah.
but it is technically possible within the rules context.
There you go. Technically possible. I'm excited to learn what a tachyon lance is.
Okay. The Tachyon Lance is the super heavy weapon at the pinnacle of Sherman's license that fires tachyons. So technically, the weapon hits its target before it fires because it goes faster than causality.
Because time wibbliness.
Time wibbliness. The amount of damage it does is absolutely insane. I think up to 8 burn, as like in addition to the dice damage it does, 8 burn, which its smaller lasers do 1 and 3 burn respectively, to give you an idea.
Okay, so it's a hell of a lot.
Yes, it is a super heavy, so it takes up basically all of the weapon mounts on this thing, and it requires a full action rather than a quick action to fire. But oh man, when it fires,
But it's but you get to say I shot you so hard that I hit you out of time.
pretty much. Other Sherman systems, there's ones that let you stabilize as a quick action rather than the full action it normally takes, so you can, get that loop moving faster. Uh, a very early one lets you re-roll overheating checks in case you fuck your system up. And
Okay.
then Asura is uh, the first proper NHP we've had in the slideshow. Asura is also at the pinnacle of Sherman's license. It is a full-on non-human person, um, shackles and risk of cascading all included. Oh, I didn't mention that NHPs don't necessarily natively have a human frame of reference, and so they're given shackling programs to keep them from losing touch completely with the people they interact with. But you have to cycle those every so often because they can still think their way out of them. And if it goes into Cascade or if fully loses, you get another terrifying space god.
So like that's just a thing that can happen to all of these people who are using the highest level of the Sherman.
Sure can.
Wow, that seems wildly dangerous and inappropriate to put into these things that are being mass produced.
NHPs are incredibly common. They're borderline necessary for the function of human society in Union. Don't worry about the extra danger, it's fine.
Sure, every once in a while one of them understands the gripping horror reality of it living inside of a suit of armor instead of being free, and that the humans that are keeping it there are the ones that are shackling it to its existence. But it probably will be a forgiving god.
Probably.
Yeah.
The book does mention that NHPs that are shackled are generally positively regarded to being able to interact with people, and NHPs that are unshackled tend to vary. Either they are just so far gone that they can't even comprehend that you're talking to it, or they do want to go back in the shackles because this is terrifying, or no, actually, I enjoy my freedom.
Digital goddom, here we come.
Yep.
Wow.
Asura, in addition to being an AI system, so it can pilot your mech for you. It doesn't have access to your talents, obviously, but it has access to all the physical stuff that's in it.
Right.
If you need to get out and do something else, or you're incapacitated or something. Um, in addition to that, Asura has a limited number of times it can just give you 2 extra quick actions for a turn. That they do still have to obey the duplicate actions restrictions. So they can't be the same quick actions, but you've got extra stuff you can do.
Okay.
So it's nice for basically anything if you're willing to go that deep into the Sherman license.
And it's kind of like having an onboard Jarvis that you can ask to do stuff while you're. I love the idea of it being independent enough that it could even like walk the mech. So if you got like completely knocked the hell out, but your mech was more or less okay, it could limp itself to like a repair depot.
Yes,
That's super
or
cool.
even fight for you if it needs to. It has access to the whole mech.
I guess that's true. It could continue to fight even though you're super unconscious. It just can't do
Yep,
all the cool Lancer talenty stuff that you can do.
exactly. Or if you need to dismount to do something for the mission, like go into a place to get something out, or shepherd some refugees and they're afraid of the giant stompy robot,
They should be.
as they should be. You know, So it's a thing where you don't have to give up participation in combat to do the whole mission.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Okay.
All right, moving on. Tokugawa.
Now we got extra hands. Well, I guess extra forearms because it's the same arm. It looks like.
They diverge at the shoulder, it looks like.
I see.
Yes, extra arms is very common. You'll see it more as we go.
Patient exposure.
I mentioned having your heat baffles open and you're taking double damage
Yeah.
before when we were talking about heat. Tokugawa gets a ton of extra bonuses when it is exposed like that. And it can do it at will. It doesn't have to overheat to do it. But it makes it the glassiest of glass cannons because it's taking double damage even though it gets all those extra bonuses. So you have to kind of risk reward it.
Wow.
Those bonuses are largely range extension. It can add 5 hexes to the range of any energy weapon, or if it's exposed, or if it's got its external battery and say activated its core power up to 15 extra hexes.
Holy crap! That's like half of a map.
Yes. Or for melee weapons, it'll extend the weapon's threat up to 3 under those conditions. So like those torches there, I think the most I have gotten it to with a torch is threat 5. So imagine doing a D&D style attack of opportunity 5 hexes away.
Wow. Okay, because that was going to be the next question: is threat attack of opportunity? And the answer is yes.
Yep, that's also the engagement range on the weapon, so you can just normally hit them that far away as
Oh,
well.
okay. So it's like reach essentially.
Yeah, reach. Call it threat because it implies the threat of
And
they
it.
call it an overwatch. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
highlights from the Tokugawa license are the external battery that I mentioned. This is just literally just they strap extra power, extra wattage to the outside of your mech to increase the range of energy weapons or increase the threat of energy-based melee weapons. But if you take enough damage, it'll blow up and do more damage to you.
Is this like internal ammo in MechWarrior situation where like I hit you, now let's see what I hit. Oh shit, I hit the battery.
It can be, yes.
Oh good. It's full of potential energy both for me and for you.
Yep. So that's a risk, and because of all of the, even though it's presented here as a melee mech, because of all of the range extension and exposure to extra damage Tokugawa can get, it actually builds into a really nice sniper too.
With yeah, I could see that with range extension. I mean, if the rifle is already half the map, then getting, and that'd be even better because the assumption is that they can't shoot you back at the distance you're firing.
Right, because if you're firing them, if you're shooting at them from 30 hexes away and their gun goes 8,
Yeah.
all that exposure doesn't matter.
Wow. Huh.
So I bring that up to highlight the sort of build diversity even within the same frame here.
Yeah, because you look at this and you're like, okay, it's got all these swords, so it must be a melee thing, but like, nah, extra range is extra range, my man.
Yep. Highlight or additional highlights, the torch, which you see are those fire swords there. Those are cool because they're very easy to extend the range on, and they do energy damage. I think burn as well.
I would hope.
And then there's the Lucifer NHP, our second NHP. Lucifer lets you take all of your heat that you have and use it as bonus burn damage on a hit, limited times.
Okay.
So I have dealt absurd amounts of burn to you now, and now you have to deal with that. Enjoy your dots.
That's interesting, especially with the other thing that we just looked at where it's all about generating heat. If you could, because that thing did like 8 heat, right?
Yep.
So being able to add even more to that seems like a way of just smoking somebody.
Yep. And so heat or burn ignores armor, and burn will it'll happen again. It's a dot. It happens every turn until you manage to put it out with an engineering check.
Oh boy.
And it keeps stacking. So if you can't put it out and you taking more and more burn, it's a bigger and bigger dot as you go.
Oh damn. Okay.
And the last one, the Plasma Gauntlet, is a system that you can attack with to a point. Basically, it's let me channel all of the heat in my superheated reactor into this gauntlet that I touch you with, melt you to slag, but now I'm stunned because I had to rapidly deheat my reactor and it needs to chill out for a
Like
minute.
start back up and get stabilized again.
Yep.
So it's sort of like a burning hand of death situation.
This hand glows with a burning passion, or whatever the line is from G Gundam.
God, I haven't thought about those movies in forever. I don't even know that I've seen half of those. Uh, that'd be a question for Dan. If was he a big Gundam guy?
I don't recall.
Okay, I don't remember either.
I genuinely don't recall. But we will move on, and we'll get to the anime mechs when we get to Smith Shimano Corpro.
Oh, excellent. There's a whole like selection of them.
There's a whole manufacturer for anime mechs, and I think you'll have fun with it. This is the big boy.
The Barbosa.
The Barbarossa
Or
is
Barbarossa.
the one published size 3 mech in at least first party material. It is given a cannon height of 13 meters, which puts it at about the same height as Battletech mechs, which also means the pilot standing there is like 9 feet tall.
Right, he'd have to be enormous.
Yes. The giant gun on it is called the Apocalypse Rail.
You're helping field test it.
It specifically says in the flavor that this is still an experimental weapon, and Harrison Armory licensed pilots have the privilege of helping field test it.
That's phenomenal. We're pretty sure it'll work most of the time.
But it does have safety limiters on, which is why I say it's incentivized to stay still. Because if you're charging the Apocalypse Rail, if you move at all, even involuntarily, like you get knocked around, it drops back to 0 charge and you have to keep going.
Okay.
But it can fire with 2 charges or more, and if you get it all the way up to 4 charges, this is a ship-to-ship long spool kinetic accelerator. That is a naval weapon on it.
So it's designed to hurt starships, probably not designed to be fired in atmosphere.
When you fire it in atmosphere at full charge, not only does it probably destroy whatever units you hit, it does 100 armor-piercing damage to all terrain in the area of effect, and makes the terrain under the area of effect both difficult terrain and also deal burn damage.
Oh wow. In how far of a line?
It's a blast 2, so it's like a big circle
Okay.
rather than a line. But it can shoot. I want to say it can shoot 20 hexes at full charge.
Oh, okay. So this is like a impact site.
Yes. This is an artillery piece with legs.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, every time I think about the charging limiters on rail guns, goes back to Helldivers. Of like, oh yeah, you got to take your limiter off on that. You got to hold it just the right amount of time. If you hold it too short, it does nothing, and if you hold it too long, you're dead. But if you get the sweet spot,
That sounds very Helldivers from the little I've interacted with it.
yeah, yep. And I mean, nothing is quite as good as whipping out your rifle, aiming it down scope, and then blowing yourself to pieces because you held it for 3.5 seconds instead of 3 seconds.
Yeah,
Ah, yeah. Anyway,
the Barbarossa is also so big because it is meant to be a propaganda piece for Harrison Armory. That anthro-chauvinism again. It is a giant man doing powerful things,
yeah.
and so that is it's a they put it on posters and say, "Hey, look at us." Highlights from the license. It has several different kinds of other artillery guns you can do while you wait for the big one to charge up.
Oh, good. Artillery while you artillery. Fair, fair. I
The
mean,
siege stabilizer anchors you to the ground to give you increased range on any weapon. So it's useful for anybody if you don't want to move or if you're not going to be moving anyway.
oh, it's like the Rift's Glitter Boy foot anchors.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It has flak cannons for those pesky flying enemies, and it has both drone and external feed systems to make it reload loading weapons faster too. So also useful for snipers or artillery type builds that rely heavily on loading weapons.
I never think about mechs as artillery pieces, but I mean, it makes the most sense for you to put a howitzer on a mech because you want to be able to move an artillery piece. Even if you can move it slowly, moving it at all is the thing that makes it suck. That, like, you put it in place and then you can fire it, but then you have to pack it all back up. So making it mobile, it makes the most sense. But
I'll
also,
note that,
like, damn, it's humongous.
and many would argue bigger than it needs to be. The GMS complement of weapons available at license level 0 includes a howitzer, and the Everest has a heavy mount that you can put that howitzer on and move at insane Everest speed. So wherever you want to put it,
Ah,
it doesn't quite hit as hard as some of the things Barbarossa does, but maybe it doesn't need to.
yeah. Is there a minimum range for artillery weapons?
I believe the siege stabilizer makes it so you can't shoot at things that are 5 hexes or closer.
Okay.
And I know the Apocalypse rail has a minimum range on it. Some big weapons also have minimum ranges on them.
Yeah, because that would be the trade-off of like, well, if I can get inside of your zone of influence, then you're screwed. Because
Yep.
you're never
So
going to be able to get away from me.
Barbarossa really needs to be babysat to do the biggest stuff that it
Yeah,
does.
but damn, I mean, if it hits, it hits. You don't
If
have
it
to hit
hits, it hits.
something twice.
Pretty much. All right, moving on. For a little bit more weird,
Yeah, what in the hell am I looking at here?
you're looking at Harrison Armory's weaponized Blink Tech test bed. This is another one where its pilots are privileged to be helping field test it.
Excellent. It definitely looks prototypey with the like exposed wiring and stuff around the head cannon.
I don't really know what that is. I don't think that's a cannon. And it doesn't tell you. It's whatever you want it to be. Have fun.
I don't
As
think it's a
mentioned,
cannon. We're reading the manual. It doesn't say it's a cannon. I don't know what the hell this thing is. Oh, awesome. Sorry, continue.
as mentioned, the Sunzi is a teleport control hub. Basically, if anybody is teleporting on the field, the Sun Tzu goes, you get to go where I tell you to instead of where you think you were going.
So teleporting's a thing. That's new information.
I IPSN doesn't really do much with it. Neither does GMS, but we'll get more into it as we get through the next couple.
Okay.
The Sun Tzu's traits are really helpful for your team because if any space adjacent to it is a valid endpoint whenever your allies teleport. So they could be across the map and need to escape, and if they can teleport even one space, they can choose a space next to you and appear where you are in your safe haven.
Wow. Okay, that's kind of crazy.
It also has lots of ways to teleport friends and allies, or friends and enemies, I should say. And later in its, or no, this is a core thing. It can deploy a blink anchor that you can force enemies to teleport to if they are teleported. So create a little alley of fire or something, an advantageous position for your allies to shoot at, blink your enemies there, focus fire them down.
Wow. Man, that seems extremely difficult to deal with.
It is.
Again, I never really thought about teleporting in a mech game before.
It comes up, and the teleporting enemy type called the Mirage is a bastard.
I can imagine.
It is an absolute bastard, and every time I've used it on my players, they have cursed my name.
The deployable blink anchor, uh, is that like a thing that you have to target someone with, or just period, this thing is out, teleporting is screwy because it's out?
It's a thing that you put out, and you can choose whenever teleportation happens, you can choose to have that teleportation instead go to a point next to the deployable that you put out instead of wherever it was going to go.
Since it is a deployable, could I have, say, like a high accuracy mech blow it up?
Yes, it does have hit points and an evasion score.
Okay, so it isn't just like a floating holographic marker. It's like an actual thing that gets shot out, put into play, and you can take it out of play with a good shot.
Yes, and the Sun Tzu has limited charges of it. Um, you can also have your allies pick it up and move it around if they want to.
That's kind of hilarious.
Yeah. Highlights from the license, there is Accelerate, which isn't a proper teleport, but it is a cool mobility thing where you perform the Accelerate action and you create two, or you pick two hexes that were within 5 hexes of each other, and anything that enters one of those hexes is immediately pushed to the other one.
So it's like one of those speed up things in racing games where you like
Yeah.
hit the arrow thing and it like sends you flying.
Yes, you can use this for allies, can use it for extra mobility. You can push enemies into it to get them somewhere else. You can even use it if you throw like a grenade or a mine into one of the hexes, it'll push to the other one.
That is kind of fun to have, like a deployable instant conveyor belt. Especially
It is a
considering
lot
like
of fun.
it always ends in the same spot. So once one person gets pushed to the end of it, then everyone could just throw grenades anywhere in the line. That is fun.
It has a bunch of different ways to teleport, either with electronic warfare attacks. Its one weapon in the license is called the Warp Rifle, which, in addition to doing damage, also teleports the target. So that's where you get some of that from. Uh, and one of its pinnacle abilities is called Real Space Breach, which just creates a portal from Portal.
Oh shit. So then you can put a portal up on the side of the building and have your artillerist fire through it to get a sneaky side shot.
Yep. and anyone can shoot through it and hit things on the other side, draw the rest of the range and targets to the other end of it.
As long as it draws a straight line, then you're good to go. That's
Yep.
man. So you said that you used this with Foundry.
Yes.
Do they have like little icons and stuff for all these? Because this thing deploys like 3 different things.
There's a general icon for deployables in Foundry,
Okay.
and then you mouse over it and it'll tell you the name of it. It'll usually be outlined the way I have it set up. It'll be outlined in like ally or enemy colors to designate that.
Wow. That's still cool. Okay, so another thing you said, because you said this a couple of times, and I meant to like bookmark it to ask you. You said that there's like ultimate abilities. Are we talking like League of Legends? You fire off your ult, and it has like a thing you can only do once per combat or something?
Every frame has what's called its core power, which is a one charge and you're done until you get a full repair.
Okay, so like once
in
per
the
long.
normal
Yeah.
in the normal scale of things, you have to like decide which combat in a mission set you're going to use it on for most effect. There are some later published mechs that have efficient core powers that are usable once per combat, but they are lesser effective.
They're not making a portal from one side of the battlefield to the other.
Correct.
Okay. And is it normal that like you do multiple combats per long repair, long rest essentially?
Yeah, generally 2 to 3 or more, depending on what the story requires. That's something I'm actually kind of working on in my storytelling for Lancer, is creating the narrative situation where they have to go through multiple combats before they have access to their base again. As I've been struggling to work that out, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, I mean that because it's kind of like the wizard problem in D&D. If you have too many combats, then they're going to show up with, no spells, or in this case, no ammo, no deployables. But if you let them get it in every single time, then it doesn't really have that same punch.
Yeah, same idea, like splitting up long rests and such.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be very tough, especially if you have our lancers generally like deployed from a ship, so um we got this like distress call, bring all 4 of our lancers, deploy them down in the battlefield, and then you like pick them back up.
Depends on the scenario. Um, my players right now, I have them on actually a recontacted old colony world,
Okay.
and they're diplomatically they are not supposed to be there, so they do not have any official backing. They are deniable assets.
All right.
That said, they have their very first mission was to locate a printer that was put there by the diplomatic mission that disappeared that they went there to go find. So they have had access to their stuff. This denying people their licenses kind of sucks.
Yeah,
But
especially if it's going to be like
limiting,
a big thing of the campaign.
yeah, but limiting their access to it has been something that I found kind of tricky
Gotcha.
because they're just operating out of their base where the printer is.
Yeah. Huh.
But I'll figure that out.
Okay.
All right, moving on. All right, next manufacturer. These are your anime mechs.
Excellent.
Smith Shimano Corpro, you only need one. They make
I mean, is that from an anime or is this from Lancer?
that is right out of a Lancer book,
Oh boy.
but the smoke trails on the missiles are right out of anime.
Yeah, for real. If you told me that was some like weird Gundam, I would have bought that in a heartbeat.
Right. Smith Shimano makes fast and agile, but fragile, fragile frames on the side. They either don't have a lot of hit points or they have very little capacity to be repaired because they're so sophisticated, or they've got really, really low heat cap, so they can't be fucked with too much, and you've got to work around it. Um, their thing is high aesthetic and very exclusive artisan design. Um, every mech is custom made for the pilot that orders it. And
Okay.
in some cases, they'll give you like a non fungible hash code for it. So you can only print it once. And if you lose it, you have to like send a message in writing to the manufacturer and be like, hey, or the artisan that made your sword, be like, hey, so I lost the sword. Here's the circumstances. Can I please print another one?
Yeah, nothing says high mech fantasy like having to put in a support ticket so that you can reprint your mech. I just need a left foot. That's all I need, man. Please, for the love of God, let me print a left foot.
Uh, outside of mech design, Smith Shimano is known for lots of biotech and bioengineering. Um, they do genetic enhancement so that people can adapt to different colony worlds. One thing they are infamous for is what we call constellar worlds, where they're paradise worlds where they just invite all sorts of genetically diverse people to these worlds and you know let them live there in exchange for um, having access to their genetic code and uh, absolutely no eugenics happens there. None at all.
That's
Don't worry about it.
wild.
All of
Wow.
their frames are named after butterflies and moths to help reinforce the high aesthetic aesthetic.
Huh. Okay. Which I mean, I guess goes to the other question of, because like I immediately think of Star Trek of like, we can't allow bioengineering because then we're just going to create like races of superhumans that are super smart, super fast, and immediately subjugate like everyone who isn't bioengineered. Is bioengineering your pilot a thing?
Yeah, super soldier is an optional background that you can take. It doesn't change who you are. Lancer really kind of levels out people. You might
Okay.
say, I'm a super soldier, so I have accuracy on this particular situation because I'm genetically bred to be good at fighting, but that doesn't make you any better at like talking to somebody or operating a computer terminal or something like that.
Okay. So it's not like just
And
generally I am better at everything than you. It's I have been engineered to fight in like desert planets because we're going back to Caracas because I cannot get that shit out of my head now.
right, like you can invoke your background and say, "Hey, I am designed to not need as much moisture and to be more metabolically efficient, so I should have accuracy on surviving in this environment and helping you guys survive in this environment too."
Okay. Huh.
Cybernetics are a thing. Uh, the uncontacted colony that I have my players on is it's very Solaris from Warframe, where the workers all have to get expensive cybernetic enhancements to be able to compete in the job market and
Oh,
go into debt
beautiful.
for that.
Beautiful.
Uh,
You get to play
and again,
the we
that's
all
a
live together.
we all live together, and
Beautiful.
so that's again you invoke that you have that particular trait for accuracy and narrative stuff.
Okay.
All right, getting into the mechs.
This looks like some riff shit right here.
I like how it looks. It is wild and it is fun. This is the Metal Mark. The Metal Mark is Smith Shimano's line mech, so it is It's most highly produced, most common one that you'll see out there, and it is an invisible soldier.
Does it have horse hooves?
It does.
All right, sure.
You'll see weirder feet as we go.
Oh, good.
Metal Mark's core power is just I am permanently invisible for the rest of the scene.
That's crazy. How is that balanced?
You could still be targeted if you're invisible. There's just a mischance.
I see.
Invisibility also lets you hide without intervening like cover.
Yeah.
So you can take an action to become hidden and thus untargetable until you do something that exposes your position or somebody uses a search action to find you.
Wow. It still sounds like a freaking nightmare. And is this like predator invisibility or is it like true invisibility?
It doesn't really fool sensors too much.
Okay.
As again, you can be invisible but not hidden, and so all of your mech sensors still see it. It's just harder to hit you because it's harder to aim.
Yeah.
Or you can be invisible and hidden, but you can still find them by doing a sensor ping and finding them.
Gotcha.
It just costs you action economy to do that.
Okay.
It also has outside of being permanently invisible, because that's just a once per mission thing. It has an adaptive carapace camouflage. It gets more out of light cover.
Okay.
So anything that would give it like a smoke grenade or cloud from another mech cooling off or something like that would normally give attacks against you 1d6 of difficulty. Metal Mark gets 2.
Oh, okay. So it just basically is always better hidden when it can be.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Highlights from the license has Reactive Weave, which is a fun or usefulness gain to an ability that's available to everybody, but it really kind of hurts to use, which is Brace. Brace is a reaction you can take to resist incoming damage. If you are worried you're going to take more than you want and you need to take less, you brace. The costs for bracing are high. You on your next, or you gain resistance to the attack that hits you, and then there's difficulty for all attacks against you for the rest of the turn. But on your next turn, you can't move normally, and you only get one quick action at all.
Okay, so it basically eats your next turn.
It eats almost all of your next turn. Reactive Weave adds some extra things when you brace. So bracing makes you invisible for a turn, and also you can immediately move spaces to equal to your speed.
Oh, okay. So then it eats just your attack action instead of also your movement.
It makes it hurt less to brace.
Yeah.
For the cost of some system points.
Okay.
There's the Rail Rifle, which is a widely useful line attack. The Shock Knife is a very, very good weapon that does energy damage and burn.
Wow.
And it's the one where the flavor text specifically about having to contact the artisan that made it to ask for another print code. That's where that flavor text comes from, is the Shock Knife.
Does it like disintegrate when you use it?
If you lose it, it's only if you lose it. So if you throw it at somebody and don't recover it, or it gets shot off or destroyed in some way, you use it to pry open a door and it snaps, stuff like that.
Okay.
There's the Shock Wreath, which can be added to any melee weapon. It costs you a quick action to charge it, but then when you hit with that melee weapon, it does extra burn, and if that target is already burning, it also blinds them.
Wow. This all seems
And the
pretty OP for just like
Metal Mark is very
attachments.
good. Metal Mark is a very good license. And there's the active camouflage, which is a system you can put on yourself where for the cost of a fair amount of stacking heat, you can just be invisible.
Wow. Is that the thing that's for like the whole combat, or you said
That's
stacking
its core
heat?
power. The core power is the one where you just are invisible for the cost of your core power charge. The active camouflage is a system that you can use. You're like, okay, I need to be invisible here, and I'm willing to take the 2 heat or whatever it is this turn, and for as long as I need to go.
Oh,
And
okay.
it lets you transfer it to other things because that's part of the license.
So this is just another invisibility that it has access to.
Right, and that you can use to put invisibility on another frame that doesn't have it.
Man. So are these, because they're from this manufacturer, are these just like specifically more expensive to repair or something as well?
Not especially. Um, things cost what they cost to repair. It's more of a narrative flavor type thing.
Oh, okay. I thought it like literally costed you like, oh, this one takes 2 repair points instead of 1 because it's fancy and artisanal.
Generally, it costs you 1 repair cap to restore all of your hit points. It costs you 1 repair cap to repair a system or a weapon, and it costs you 2 repair cap to repair one of your 4 structure points. If you lose your last structure point, your mech is gone for good.
It's
If
like
you lose a
actually
structure
blown up.
point, yep.
Okay.
The Everest, because its parts are so ubiquitous, only costs 1 repair to repair a structure. So that's how part of how it helps you learn that taking damage is okay. You have a way to get back to full.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah. The thing about Metal Mark is it's a little more on the fragile side, so it needs this invisibility to be survivable.
It definitely looks very spindly from like just the look of it.
And that's, I think, reflected in its hit points and lower heat cap. It has a higher evasion and is frequently invisible, which gives it a 50% miss chance.
So you were gonna say something about the horse hooves, or that's just like a weird thing that it does?
It has horses. That is how they designed it. Other Smith Mechs just have full-on articulated toes.
God, there's no reason for that.
There is no reason for that. But if you're showing off how good of an engineer designer you are,
Yeah,
fully articulated
fair.
toes. Speaking of, you can't see them too well because it got cut off. But here's the Missile Beast from the cover, and it has fully articulated toes.
For what reason? Divine punishment.
Divine Punishment is such a cool core power. You burn your core power and shoot missiles at every hostile target within range 50.
So the map.
And they have to make a save to take half damage. You don't roll the hit; they have to save for half damage.
Glorious.
Yes, Divine Punishment is great. And along that same lines, Monarch is missiles for everybody. This is designed to be loaded up with missiles, and more missiles. And the critical follow-up point is missiling while you missile, because if you make a critical hit, it immediately fires an Avenger rocket to also follow up for more damage.
Dear God. All right
And
then.
if you fire a missile at a locked on enemy and consume that lock on, you get to fire that missile around corners, and it also, I think, damage from it can't be reduced.
So when you get hit, you are hit. No ifs, ands,
Yeah.
or buts. This thing sounds rad. Does it
Monarch is
fly?
fantastic. Not
Is that why it
natively.
has fins?
It does not natively fly. There is a Smith Shimano core bonus that does give it continuous flying for anything continuous flying for the cost of heat, and there are also limited flight systems in the GMS catalog as well.
Oh, of course. You can't be a Gundam unless you can fly, so.
Right. Highlights from the license, there's the Javelin rockets, which are, you pick 3 hexes within range, and everybody sees where those hexes are. If anything passes through them, the rocket descends and does damage. This is, on its face, this is an area denial thing, because enemies naturally won't move into those, they see where they are. But you can also play this with knockback and other forced movement.
Because anything being moved there by any means is targeted.
Exactly. It
Excellent.
has all different sizes of missiles for all different things. Its main missile launcher can shoot 2 enemies at once. Its heavy missile launcher arcs and goes around corners. And its super heavy missile launcher can either fire 1 big AoE or 2 small AoEs.
So this thing actually gets a lot of AoEs just in general.
Yeah, the Monarch is meant for hitting lots of people very quickly.
Man, that's crazy.
Enemy type that's most similar to this is called the Rainmaker.
That sounds rad as hell.
It is. And the last highlight is the Tlaloc NHP. Tlaloc is cool and useful for even non-missile mechs, because what it does, in addition to being an AI system, is let you, if you miss a target within range, you can re-roll to try and hit another target within range, even if you're just like swinging a sword or something like that. The drawback for this is you can't be moving if you've got Tlaloc active.
Okay, but if you fire and miss, you always get a second chance to hit somebody else.
Yes, not the original target, but somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good.
It is. And a lot of Monarch's weapons are quite long range, so that goes pretty far.
Oh, because they have to be in range, right? So
they have to be in range. So that would even
okay.
be useful on, say, a sniper Tokugawa, if you wanted to do that.
Again, that sounds totally crazy to be able to do that.
Moving on.
That's Lancer in a nutshell, I guess.
That's Lancer. If you build it wild, it'll get wild. You'll get there. This is the mech that I played in my first Lancer game.
The Mourning Cloak.
The Mourning Cloak. It teleports behind you, nothing personnel kid, stab. It has a native teleport that it can do as a full round action. You can teleport 3d6 hexes. If you roll triples, you disappear for the scene and show up like nothing happened when the scene is over.
Wondering where the person you were about to stab went?
I have more than once, while I considered using this, used Google to reassure me what the odds are of rolling triples on 3d6, just just to keep me from freaking out over it. It also has extensive biotic components. This makes it incredibly agile and it gives it accuracy on agility checks. It's very, very fast. Don't worry that it has like bug carapace and meat muscles in it. That's fine.
So biotic meaning actually biological in nature.
Yes.
That's weird. Okay.
They did it in Ava. It's fine. Ava was
Yeah.
a normal show.
Should be great. No problems.
Highlights from the license: the fold knife is a mech scale knife where if you get a critical hit with it, you can teleport 2 spaces.
Oh. So this is another teleporty mech.
Very much so. The fade cloak lets you fade away and become intangible. Nothing can hit you. You can't hit anything. You can pass through walls.
Wow.
There is a 50-50 chance that you become retangible again at the end of your turn, but it is still very, very useful when at the right time.
Okay, because that was going to be my question of why wouldn't we just get 50 of these, make them intangible, march them into the middle of the base, and then become retangible at the worst possible time? And the answer is because you can't stay intangible forever.
Correct. There is a intangible used to be a thing that only Morning Cloak did. There is a later published mech that I haven't included in this slideshow that can send enemies into intangible realm as well, so you can just be a lurking shadow for waiting for them to send you prey.
Good lord. Okay. And the variable sword?
Variable sword is a mono whip sword.
Neat.
Yep. It does pretty decent damage on its own. It is incredibly accurate. If you crit with it, it does a shitload of bonus damage, and it has quite a lot of reach for a sword.
Is this one of those where they have the monofilament extended in front of it, and so there's like a support piece behind it? I'm trying to see this picture, because it kind of looks like a fishing pole.
It does look like a fishing pole. So yeah, that's the... I suspect that the orange tag at the end is to show you where the end of it is, and that the thin line is like a sheath that comes out, and then you swing the monofilament, resheath it.
Oh, okay.
For safety.
Yeah, I was thinking that like the monofilament ran from the hilt to the orange anchor, and that like the post behind it didn't matter because whatever's in front of it is getting cut in half before the post would hit it. But I don't know. That's still neat though.
I like it. Oh, I forgot to mention an important frame trait for this that reinforces the rogue aesthetic. If you hit in melee an enemy that has no characters adjacent to it or just you adjacent to it, you get extra bonus damage on top of it. It's a backstab.
Oh, okay. So it's got the like singled out, you're going down type situation.
Right. And it's easy to defend against it by being next to your buddies, and so there's a teamwork opportunity here where your friends can break up an enemy formation, or there's design space for you to get good at ramming enemies to create that space for yourself as well.
I suppose that's true. Nothing puts you aside better than a flying kick.
Mm-hmm. All right, last one for SSC. This is the Death's Head, and I included it because it looks like a Tachikoma from Ghost in the Shell.
It does look like a Tachikoma.
And also to reinforce it's not necessarily 2 legs and 2 arms thing. This thing is a spider.
But it does horrifyingly have 2 arms that cannot reach anything. So they're just sort of hanging off the front of this thing for no discernible reason.
Those are there to interact with small things that would normally require the pilot's bare hands, so that without having to fully dismount. They're called manipulators. They're a GMS system, uh, and they are sometimes horrifying, like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Just hanging off the front of this thing. Good lord. Okay.
Death's Head is a sniper. It is designed to focus entirely on one shot against one enemy and take it the hell out. Uh, Mark for Death is its core power, where it spends a full action focusing on an enemy, and then that enemy is fucked.
Wow. How realistic is it to have this thing fielded and to literally one shot another like NPC PC?
That's not even any kind of unrealistic.
Oh god. That's
Most I've mentioned that your mechs have four structure.
yeah.
Most enemies will have one. Veteran enemies will have two structure, and the most elite enemies you come across will have four.
Okay.
So they're a little more fragile than PC mechs, but you can still potentially one shot somebody down from two structure with this thing.
Good lord. Because that would be the only thing, again, for like game balance perspective. That's the only thing that would concern me a little bit is like, oh, you're fielding this thing where if you roll a 6, whatever you're fighting is dead.
Tougher enemies have ways to survive stuff like this, but you will fuck them up.
Okay.
The highlights from the license: the high stress mag clamps allow you to just climb walls and ceilings. No problem, no issue, no loss of speed. The only thing is if you get like knockbacked or something, they fail and you fall.
Mm.
The tracking bug is a really cool tech attack you can do where you mark an enemy and you know their hit points, you know their speed, you know a ton of information that's normally hidden from a player. You just have it, so you can see
Ah.
like how many hit points they have left, so you know how hard to hit them. You don't waste a big shot on them or something like that.
Okay.
Uh, you can communicate that information to your team as well, so they effectively have that information. Also, something that's been tracking bugged cannot hide from you, and you ignore its invisibility.
Excellent.
And then, of course, the railgun, a 20 hex line of death.
Is it an actual line attack so you can fire through
It's, a,
multiple people?
it's an actual line attack.
Oh god.
Uh,
Okay.
it will be stopped by terrain, but there are ways to make it go around terrain in other licenses.
Oh good.
So yeah,
Uh
it's a good weapon.
so Mist is asking is this set up in such a way for like you guys have four, they usually have one, just to allow you to like fight, 10 to 1 type situation?
Very much so, yes.
Okay.
It is encounter design is encouraged for you to have more units and more turn activations than your PCs.
Okay.
Just because you are elites, you are fighting against insurmountable odds, you are a badass, and you will scythe down enemies like grass. So
Good.
there will be a
Oh
lot of
man.
enemies.
That yeah, feels good when you can do stuff like that.
There is an enemy template called Grunt, which is just a normal enemy, except it has one hit point. So it's there to be chaff. If
Okay.
you ignore them, they will mess you up. But if you drop an AoE on them, you will kill them en masse.
Oh, okay. Cool. So we are coming up on 3 hours. How far have we gotten through your slideshow here?
There's one more manufacturer.
Okay, we got one
Then
more
we're done.
manufacturer. I I I am definitely enjoying it. Just want to make sure that we're gonna make it through. Usually I go till like 7ish, but we can go past a little bit to go through the final manufacturer. I mean, it's definitely this has given me a very good identity of this game, and I 100% now see why. Especially like, what percentage would you say going through these manufacturers, are you like literally showing all of them, or are you just showing like here's the 5 best?
I'm showing you the four that I think interest or either show an identity or have a cool backstory or show off an interesting design space. Like, I mentioned the Raleigh has off turns that you can fill in with another role,
Right.
just to illustrate how you should think about building a Lancer mech.
Okay. I was just wondering like how wide, like how many mechs are we talking about in this like core book?
I think the core book has. I'll actually just go and count them really quick. Since I have it on my phone, so I can just open it real quick.
Okay. Because yeah, I'd be very interested to see. Oh god, the feet on this thing make it look like it's wearing heels, and that kind of bothers me because they did weird feet stuff. Why is it always weird feet stuff?
Okay, so in the core book, all four of the big manufacturers that aren't GMS have 7 frames,
Okay.
and then there are more added in supplement books.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, especially if they have open licensing for this, the supplement books must go hard.
They do. It's very common for third-party folks to add like a new frame or license or an alternate frame for every manufacturer, and then if they're feeling real ambitious, they'll create their own manufacturer.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see this last
All right.
manufacturer.
Last one. You'll love this one. I saved this one for last because I
Yeah.
knew you'd be into it. Horus. Congratulations, pilot. You have been chosen. Access is yours as long as you can keep it.
Oh, good. Design spreads like viruses.
Horus isn't really a corpo. Nobody really knows what Horus is. Its designs just kind of show up. Even if you are a member of being paid by Horus, you don't necessarily know what Horus is. You just know what you do. It operates in cells. Many of its designs spread like viruses, either like files on the OmniNet or quite literally, as I'll explain when we get to our
Good
first
lord.
mech. Rather than specific silhouettes, Horus has pattern groups. They are so esoteric that they can't really be classified by how they look. They are classified by what function they have. So, like, 3 different Balors might look like 4 different mechs.
Okay. And they're all named
Their
after monsters from D&D?
their naming scheme is literally just things from the D&D Monster Manual, and
Wow.
they are known for having weird esoteric play styles. Um, so if you like moving 3 or 4 little things, like 3 + 2 + A + 7 equals asterisk, this is your boys.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of, here's the Balor.
Nanite infection. So now we're really getting to some Warframe lore.
The Balor isn't a built frame. The Balor is what happens when Balor nanites infect a big enough frame and turn it into a Balor.
Oh, good. So
You can
literal infection. Okay.
A literal infection. You can cultivate a Balor if you have the license levels, but you can also encounter them operating autonomously in the wild is gray-wash nanites.
That's crazy. Okay.
The Balor's role is it is a regenerating defender, so it doesn't reduce damage to itself. It doesn't have armor. It doesn't brace. It just grows back hit points.
So it's all about killing this thing fast enough, because if you don't kill it fast enough, it will out heal the damage you're dealing it.
Exactly. One of my players is playing a Balor, and God, if I didn't spend an entire turn getting him down to like 5 hit points, only for him to grow it all back when like I couldn't focus on him as hard for a couple turns.
I mean, that is pretty good.
It is. Highlights from the license: the Hive drone is a deployable drone that creates a cloud of nanites that gives soft cover to allies and does armor-piercing damage to your enemies. Not a lot, but you're being eaten by nanites. The nano composite adaptation mod is, I've mentioned a couple times, where you can make this gun go around corners. This is the mod that does it.
Oh, okay.
It turns any weapon into a seeking smart weapon, so it ignores line of sight and targets their electronic warfare defense instead of their evasion.
So you are targeted. You are getting hit, unless you
You're
can
getting hit.
fake where you're at with
Unless you
your.
can spoof it with your counter warfare. Yep.
Okay. Wow.
This works with slugs, this works with laser beams, this works with melee weapons. So a hyper-extended Tokugawa's torch could get you inside a building if it's nanocomposite adapted.
Goes up the stairs, down the hallway, knocks on the door.
Pretty much.
Wow.
And then
Okay.
there's the nanobot, or the nanobot whip is a heavy weapon that's a fun thing at the top of the license. It is a big reach weapon that when it criticals, it pulls what you hit next to you so that the nanites in your body can eat it.
Ah.
And so the Balor is sort of like
Huh.
a black hole on the battlefield. It draws things to it. It doesn't move very much. It often wants to grapple enemies, so there's design space to make it good at grappling. And as it keeps enemies adjacent to it, it does slow damage to them as its nanites eat them.
So that was going to be my question, because you can have the spots that you designate, but it also just destroys unfriendly units that are next to it.
Yes.
Wow. I think that's a very cool design. Especially like the virus infected angle of like, no, we just make these sometimes. Nobody really understands why. It just sort of happens.
Oh shit, this thing turned into a Balor. Now we have to purge the entire place of nanites.
Because otherwise we'll all have Ballards.
Well, all right, moving on. This is the Kobold. I've
That's a
included it
weird looking
mostly
thing.
because it is. I've included it mostly because it has a cool way that it spreads, but also because it is a fantastic battlefield controller. This is another half-size frame, so this is person-sized,
Okay.
and it is made by taking virally transmitted code and uploading it into mining rigs or civilian mechs, stuff like that. There's a story of a workers' revolt where they're trapped in mine tunnels and all they have is their tools. Kobold code gets to them. They plug it into their mining rigs, and now they are suddenly a military force.
I mean, I love the idea of this, as you had put there, like swords to plowshares, plowshares to swords, mentality of like, no, I've made this thing that will help you like fight for your freedom, even if you have nothing. It has
Yep.
that very cool like revolutionary style feel to it, But the rest of this stuff feels very sinister. But
It's a deal with the devil. It's a scary thing that you plug into your familiar tool, and it melts and burns and extrudes into something horrifying, which will let you fight, but at what cost?
okay, mimic
Um,
carapace.
if the kobold is adjacent to terrain, it is invisible.
Oh, I see.
And its powers and core powers let it terraform the map. It spits out terrain. It spits out individual blocks of terrain uh, all over the place.
So it's also a Minecraft player.
Pretty much. Need a wall here? Kobold. Need to block off an enemy approach? Kobold. Need something for your buddies to push an enemy into so that it has increased effect? Kobold.
Huh. That would be very good paired with that teleporter one.
Highlights from the license: the fusion rifle is a cool weapon uh, that does as much damage as you are hexes away from the enemy, up to 6.
That's weird. Okay. So you're looking for
It's
like that sweet spot of it like builds up charge or damage as the projectiles flying.
it has increased effect at range, blasting you with fusion energy, I guess. It is an energy weapon,
Yeah.
but yeah, it encourages you to play in such a way that you stay at an optimal range. The Seismic Ripper is a tech action where you can cause a bunch of terrain pieces that you've created to explode in little AoE damages.
Ah, so now they're not only like physical things, but also they potentially could be mines.
Yes. You build up with the frame and you tear down with the Seismic Ripper. Uh, all the enemies that are using that as cover, now the cover is hostile. Enjoy.
Now the cover hates you. Excellent.
And Immolate is a cool electronic warfare thing where you can either just set an enemy mech on fire by overheating and cracking its reactor, or you can cause its reactor to rapidly gush out coolant to do damage to enemies around your target, but not to the target.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow. I mean, this thing does a ton of weird stuff. But this is what you were saying, like all of the Horus stuff is almost like different bits and pieces that you can put together like Legos type thing to although I guess the Terraform and Seismic Ripper are all specifically built like together.
They complement each other very well, but Horus stuff does want to do a bunch of different things that don't necessarily add up until you make them add up in a way that surprises everyone.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, it's definitely cool stuff. Like these are the most unique by far.
And they're meant to be. That's why I put them at the end. In the core book, these are third, and Harrison Armory is last. But I wanted to ramp up to these because
Yeah.
they give you permission to go weird
Yeah, no doubt.
and to see how much weird space there is in Lancer,
Cool.
and get you thinking about it.
Mist has another question. Um, can you just add Horus license pieces to another mech without it being a problem, or is it gonna like, oh, you've infected it now?
Mechanically, it is not a problem. Narratively, it is as much a problem as you want to tell it to be.
Okay.
So, like, sure, I have added some Horus pieces onto my not Horus mech, and occasionally I get like glitches in the displays or apparitions in the cockpit with me. Uh,
Oh, good.
you know, however far you want to go with it.
So in the fiction, is this like a thing that like people are actively kind of terrified of what this could mean? Because like if people have like W-2s that are coming from Horus, they don't know where the company is or exactly what all everyone is doing, but like it's still a company, I guess, versus a terrifying thing that exists and is just happening to people.
It's more like cells. Like I said, it's not really a corpo. It is shadow cells that don't know what each other are doing and operate through like message boards or groups of friends.
Okay.
Two Horus cells might be completely at odds with each other. May not even know they're both Horus.
So this really is the like Delta Green of uh companies.
No, except they aren't even necessarily trying to protect people from scary shit. They are just
It's just sort of
using the
happening.
scary shit.
Okay.
All right, moving on. The mech that started us down this whole path here, and the
Oh
one
yeah.
that was shown to me to really get me uh, hyped for Lancer to begin with, the Pegasus. Um, this gives me big Ava vibes, as it is flexible and crawling terrifyingly.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a mech that I would ever be able to describe as a mech.
Mhm. And yet, uh, its its core abilities and traits are pretty neat. It can its core passive ability does 1 damage to something within range, no matter what. And quote, no rule in this book or any other can supersede this.
Does it explain
It
why it does that? It just
it it is a gun that is not a gun. The popular saying in the community is that Ushabti, which is what it's called, doesn't shoot you. It rewrites reality to indicate that you have been shot.
I mean, definitely like I can see the whole like Horus Heresy aspect of this. That's like the theme that they're going for. Um but man, that's something else. Goes back to that the tachyon rifle. I technically have already shot you. You just don't like we haven't got to the point where you've been shot yet.
Indeed. Its other trait, rather than roll damage dice, it can just take a slightly better than average result. So, like, if you would roll a d6, you can choose to do 4 instead.
Wow,
Rolling 2d6, you can
that's
choose to do, I think, 8 instead.
that's very good.
It is, and it's good for any playstyle that relies on weapons. It's an excellent weapons platform. It's billed as an artillery, and that's what its license does. But you can make a very viable melee Pegasus if you want to.
As long as you're okay with it having 4 feet or 4 hands that it runs around on.
And presumably, it stands up and carries the sword around with one hand while running on 3, and then stands up to swing. I don't know.
I assume that it bends over backwards and runs at you like a yokai in fucking The Ring.
All
Yikes.
right. Highlights from the license: the Smart Gun is a license level 1 ability to get a gun that does appreciable damage. It's just a flat 4 that shoots around corners and targets e-defense instead of evasion. Um, very basic, cool sniper ability just right out the bat. The
Yeah.
Mimic gun is a gun that is every gun. It is a heavy weapon with no defined type. You can't put mods on it, but you can use it with every single weapon specific talent at once. It is a rifle for the rifle talent. It is a launcher for the missile launcher talent. It is a shotgun for the shotgun talent. It is a nexus for the nexus talent. Whatever you want it to be, it is.
This is fucking weird. Okay.
The Eye of Horus is an AOE sensor ping, costs a quick action, but everybody within range of it, you know their hit points, their speed, their heat. So lots of ways to get information that's normally hidden from you without having to spend a scan. Um, the Sisyphus at HP that it comes with is pretty neat. So when you activate Sisyphus, you roll 3d20s and you log those results. And then rather than use a normal ass roll like a chump, you just use those 3d20s in sequence. And this is something you can do to enemies too.
Wow. So if you had like a nat 20, a nat 1, and like a 15, you could be like, I rolled a nat 20. The next time you roll the 1.
Hmm.
Wow. I do like the idea of Sisyphus being specifically attached to rolling something that's it's very cute.
It's vaguely boulder shaped.
Yeah.
All right, and the last thing is the auto gun, which is at the third rank of the Pegasus license. It occupies a mount and entirely handles firing and shooting itself. You can't mod it, you can't use it with talents or anything, but it's a good use for an otherwise unused weapon mount. And you don't think about it until you get really into playing Lancer, but getting extra attacks that do a little bit of damage is great, actually.
Yeah, I mean, every point of damage is just
Every
a
point of damage matters, and you generally have lower hit point totals. These aren't D&D characters with like 50, 60 hit points.
yeah.
Um,
Well, especially if
my
you're
Balor
surrounded by
player,
mooks.
yeah, my Balor player at license level 7 has 27 hit points, and he's leaned heavily into it because Balor benefits from having more hit points.
Okay. So that's a thing I should have asked earlier is what type of hit point totals are we talking about when we were rolling damage or talking about rolling damage?
Uh, Things will have, I think the Everest has 8. More fragile frames will have 6. More robust ones will have like 10, 12, and you can pump that up with hull. You can pump that up with some systems and core bonuses.
Okay. And is this also an infection thing? Like Pegasi come into existence when a mech is infected with Pegasi nanites?
No, not exactly. No, Pegasus is Horus's quote unquote line mech. So you just find its print codes in like uh, semi isolated OmniNet message boards and shit. People post it like a shit post.
So you get the license. How is Horus making money? I assume people are buying licenses.
Their uh, their goals are beyond your understanding.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
Licenses can be bought, licenses can be awarded for service, licenses can be stolen, rented, licenses can be hijacked, pirated, all
And
sorts of different reasons you can explain why you have your license.
licenses can be used to play a game so complicated that human beings will never fully understand its ramifications.
I I do like to build craft. It is a lot of fun. All right, are you ready for the last mech?
Yeah, if the Pegasus is not the weird one, then I don't fucking know.
The Pegasus is weird, but let me introduce you to a defender with 4 hit points.
Death Loop. I love
This is the Lich.
the like cloak cowl blowing in the breeze.
Mechs with cloaks is one of my favorite aesthetics.
Oh my god.
So the Lich is a defender frame, but is incredibly fragile. How does this work? The Lich can just reappear where it started its turn without having actually taken damage because time is its bitch.
How do you stop something that doesn't die if you kill it?
That is a very fantastic question, Dean.
Okay. So,
Even if the thing is destroyed to its last structure and the pilot is narratively killed, if you've got a soul vessel marker from the beginning of your turn, it reappears and your pilot is alive, actually.
does the pilot remember all the horrible stuff that happened to him last turn?
They might try to suppress it, but yeah.
Oh boy. Excellent.
Its core power is called Chrono Stutter, and this is how it does a lot of its defender thing.
Okay.
As a reaction to an enemy doing anything, activating a system, making an attack, you can move the enemy 3 spaces from where it was, appear in one of the spaces between it and what it was doing, and receive the thing that it was going to do. So if it was repairing a friend, it repairs you. If it was shooting one of your allies, it shoots you instead.
That's wild. Okay.
All right, highlights from the license. This has some pretty cool ones. Wandering Nightmare creates an AoE where everyone but you is slowed and can't take reactions.
So they just have to look at you and be like, "What is that I am seeing?"
Unhinged Chronology gives you a haste and slow spell from D&D.
All right, that's pretty boss.
You can haste a friend to let them get free movement, free boost, or slow enemies to make them not be able to move so much. The Didymos NHP quantum super positions its target. You can do this on a friend, an ally, or on an enemy. What it does is it temporarily removes the target from play, puts 2 other characters into play with an amount of hit points and evasion that can freely move but are not the character. They can't really do much else besides move. If one of them is destroyed, or if the target takes an action to, or you take an action, I think in case of enemy, to dispel it, the ally appears in either the point that wasn't destroyed or the point that they choose.
Okay. So you don't exist anywhere until the superposition collapses.
Correct. And this is a cool way to let your Barbarossa buddy move while still charging their Apocalypse Rail.
Because
Because
they're not
it's not
actually
them,
there. Yeah.
they're not moving.
Do they describe where you go when you're being superpositioned?
Drink deep and descend.
I see. Oh,
And the very last thing I've listed is the Stay of Execution, which is a pause button.
okay.
Hit an enemy or an ally with it, they are immune to damage. All of their ongoing effects pause for a turn. They can't move, they can't take actions. Just stuck, frozen in time.
Oh, man. This all seems wildly overpowered.
There
Have
are
you?
saves for some of these, and some of
Okay.
these you have to beat their E defense to inflict some of these. It
Okay.
costs these cost actions to do. Some of them cost heat. I just haven't gone into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah, yeah. But it isn't automatic. Um there is some
There are
like
ways to
save.
resist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
There's
was like,
very little
dude.
you can do to somebody that they can't either ignore or reduce with a save.
Um this reminds me so much of say going back to Cargo Cult. Have you ever read William Gibson's short story The Hinterlands?
I have not, but I have read some Gibson.
Okay, so you definitely need to read Hinterlands. Um, but it's kind of an analysis of the question of like when something gets winked out of existence, what is that like? What happens to the person? I don't want to spoil anything for it, but it's a short story. I think it's only like 10 pages or so. I'll see if I can find you a way of getting to read it, but I'd be very interested in hearing your thought on it with in regards to things like this of like, yeah, you just sort of disappear for a while. Well, that could be horrible. Maybe they just don't remember. I think actually, um,
Thinking of The Jaunt by
Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Yes, the jaunt. That was exactly what I was trying to remember. I was like, it's like the plane, but then the kid stays up.
Yep. Yeah, if you're sleeping, it's fine. If you're awake, well,
Less fine.
that's fine. Long jaunt, Dad,
Yeah.
I think is what he says when he comes out.
I believe that is correct. Yeah. Or like,
Yeah.
it's either like long jaunt or like how long or something like that.
Yeah, all that sounds like great background reading to do if you're going to make a pilot who uses a lich.
Oh, it's longer than you think. That's what
Okay,
he says. I had to
gotcha.
look it up because that was going to bother me. Or yeah, he keeps screaming longer than you think. Yeah. Another fantastic thing of like, man, if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of being, you know, sent somewhere mysterious. But
All right,
all right, what else you got?
that's it. Thanks for
Oh
listening
man,
to me nerd out for 3.5 hours. Um, are there any questions?
that is fantastic. Do we have? I mean, we've had some people asking questions as we go. But does anyone else have questions that you want to throw out there uh, whilst when are you gonna make dinner? I think 7:40 is what we're looking
I
at.
am going to make dinner immediately after this. That's my wife again.
Yeah, yep. I am thankful for everyone who came with us on this merry adventure. It is very rare that I get to sit down with someone and talk about a game that I know absolutely nothing about. Especially like, you know, you want to find that person that is super invested and loves the thing that you're talking about, and I think this like really solidified that for me, and it's given me infinitely more understanding of like why Lancer has suddenly become this like huge sensation. Uh, I mean, I definitely understand them making the core book available helped a ton with that, but getting a like deep dive on the mechs and stuff, man, it sells the hell out of itself.
Sorry it took so long. I could have maybe restrained myself to 3 mechs per manufacturer, but there were some that I woke up this morning and like, but I want to talk about this too. And it ran a little long. I apologize,
That
but thank
that
you for
is
your
perfectly
grace.
fine. Um, yeah. I mean, this may also get me to be a little bit more because like the slideshow for this I think really helped a ton. It's very
There's a lot
cool.
of cool art, and I
Yeah.
don't feel like I could have done this nearly as well without showing it off.
Oh, 100%. Especially since they have like good art for each mech. Like that's pretty huge. So, all right. Well, Wade, I don't know if this means anything to you, but since you are our guest, I'm gonna let you guide the raid if you like. I know um I don't think Dan knew a person to guide a raid to, or I would have asked him as well. But uh, do you have anyone that you want me to uh, run the raid at?
Oh gosh. Most of the people I follow on Twitch are VTubers, and that's sort of a weird uh, thematic whiplash.
It
Uh,
is, but every person that I have is either a PNG tuber or a VTuber that I would to go to. So it's a thing that is Twitch now, my man.
okay, how do I guide?
You tell me the username, and then I click it into my little thinger here and see if we can find it.
Okay, I will send you to. I'll just put her name in chat here.
Perfect.
So VTubers are unhinged. Bug Girl VTubers are naturally more unhinged. And Moth Girl VTubers are the most unhinged, except for this centipede, who is the exception that proves the rule.
Oh my god, I gotta introduce Vaughn to this person. It looks like they are playing Niho, I think is how that's
Yes.
go. Okay, so all right, well thanks for sticking around, everybody. It has been a pleasure. I may have to look at picking up the because that's exactly what I need is another core book on my shelf. But um,
I wait till you play first, I
yeah,
guess. You can get the PDF of the main stuff for free, and I already offered to run a one shot. So if you
yes,
love it after that, absolutely pick it up. But if you're worried about shelf space, hold off.
yes. I may pick it up. All right, so we're gonna go. I stopped that real quick because it only gives you like 10 seconds. So uh, we are going to raid this person at your suggestion.
All right.
So once why is this? There we go. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. Uh, we will be, I don't know, here next week with something. So, all right. Bye.
Thanks for listening. I got to go make dinner. Bye.
Yeah, bye. We are rating. We are rating.